go ahead and get that warm-up cracking, man. You might as well go ahead, man. Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you didn't get a chance to meet one of our good new correspondents last week, we're going to bring her back in. I think she got something to say one more time for your favorite homegirl, Just Girl for Life, April Stevens. What's happening, April, man? You in the building? We see you.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
What's up?
Now, once again, you set the world on fire last week. I heard that you had something else to speak on, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you the flow.
So, first of all, Carolina got cheated. We're just gonna leave it at that. But my coach did win SEC Coach of the Year, so congrats to Shane Beamer for winning SEC Coach of the Year. He is in the running for National Coach of the Year, so good luck. Congratulations. Hope he wins it because he is a really, really good coach. But on that note, so I got a new hoodie. And even though my Jets suck right now, it's almost baseball season. So with that being said, Max, welcome to the Yankees. Max, I am so happy to have you. He just got a record contract for a left-handed pitcher. I think he has the highest contract that a left-handed pitcher has ever gotten in the MLB. I have to look up specifics, so I'll have specifics when we get around to the MLB of what his contract is. But Max, welcome to the Yankees. So glad to have you. And with that being said, I will not be addressing the other free agency signing. If he wants to be a bum and go to that dumpster of a team, have at it. That's all I got to say.
We're not going to speak on it right now, but we know who you're talking about, and I'm actually quite hyped to hear both you and Jay's, and I think we might even have Alan jump in and kick a little science on what took place with the baseball. But man, I feel like it's been a short week. We had a really good show last week, and then we come back right here to be thrown into the fire again with the game, and we got to do it the right way. I mean, it's only right. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, yeah, straighten that out a little bit. Okay, so of course, ladies and gentlemen, you know how it goes, man. It's your boy K Witcham. I was #1 draft pick. We got my man Jada MIC right here, always playing man in the middle, and of course, Just Girl for Life, April Stevens, our newest correspondent. And then, of course, we got to do a little bit of everything, man. We got sports, and more sports. So we normally do a little bit of the warm up, but we went ahead and let April jump it right off. So we might as well go get straight into it, Jay. What you thinking? Yep. He checking the traps. He's checking the traps. I think we might as well go ahead and do that.
You muted me, man.
How'd I mute you?
I didn't mute myself. You muted me, and I'm glad you did, because we'll talk Max Fried later. Overpaid Max Fried, but hey, it's another story.
Wow, overpaid.
It's okay. He's gonna look real good in pinstripes. It's okay though. It's okay.
Overpaid Max Fried. Well, all right. So as I see here, we're gonna jump right into it, man. Last week, April kind of shaded it a little bit. A lot of noise was made as the college football playoff was solidified and made certain. Somehow, some way, we got teams that are in and teams that are out. I am going to put this up here for you guys for just a second, and give me one. Hold on, wait, let me see. Yeah, there we go. This looks good right here. And let's see if we can go ahead and rock that out. And then bam. Ooh, check that out. Jay. Man, I know you got I know you had something to say too. I know you do. I'll be right back.
Wait, let me go first.
You can go ahead, April. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have mixed feelings about this. On one hand, I'm a diehard Penn State fan. I love Penn State. I love this for them. I love this for them. I love this for them. I love playing SMU at home. It's going to be a whiteout. Penn State, Happy Valley at night. Ooh, in a whiteout game. That's tough. That's real tough. If you don't know, it is actually one of the best college experiences. If you have not been to a Penn State whiteout game in Happy Valley, you have to go. Just as a sports fanatic, it's a college experience that you have to go to. I have yet to go to one. I will hopefully this upcoming season, but it is one of the best sports experiences. So if you can go to a Happy Valley whiteout. Anyways, so I'm really happy about that. They are not a cold weather team. They're coming to play in the cold weather. This is going to be fun. I love their road to the championship. On the other hand, there are some teams on here that should not be on here, that do not deserve to be on here. That next year they need to look at strength of schedule, something a little bit closer, because there are some teams on here that should not be on here, that do not deserve to be on here, and there are teams that was left off that should be in this bracket. Jay, I'm gonna yield it to you, because I can go on for days on why we should have been in, and there are teams on here that don't deserve to be on here. So yeah.
I refuse to speak about anything with the college football playoff. Like I don't even feel like the school that I love. I'm trying to refrain. I'm trying to like be positive here, because this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see college football playoff. But it's not happening for me. It's just not happening me for me for obvious reasons. Uh it's just not I'm done. I'm checked out. I'm checked out.
Come on, Jay. Come, Jay. You even though you wanted to see the playoff, and I know what you're saying. I know you're referring to. Shout out to all my U fans out there. The Pop Tart Bowl ain't bad, bro. Right? It's not. It's something, right? I mean, and listen. I'm saying this because I am a fair weather Texas fan. Anybody knows me. Back in the day, Vince Shawn was my dog. Okay, and when they fell off, I fell off too. But now, yes, I am on the Quinn Ewers bus. That's correct. I am on the young Manning bus. Yes, and I'm happy that they're in the SEC. I can't even front on you. But I am taking precedence right now over my South Carolina heritage, as they will go up against none other than the Clemson Tigers. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you know, hey, no one needs. Let's look at this again.
Everyone does need a Pop-Tart running around the field. I'm sorry, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
They got apps and all, and on the app, they got the Pop-Tart, the games. You know, the Pop-Tarts be doing.
I'm not.
Oh, Jay, we can get you. We can get the game.
Hey,
we gotta get the app.
I'm not.
We gotta
ready.
get the app,
I'm
so
not,
you can have the app while you watch the game.
I'm
Right?
not ready for this. I'm not ready for this, man. Can we talk NFL? Can we just come back to this? How about that? Can we come back to this?
Okay, well, I on top of everything else, Jay, how about that? With what we got going on with this right now, as we can see.
Okay, hold on. Indiana do not deserve to be on here. I'm sorry. They lost to Ohio State. They don't deserve to be on here. I understand they Big Ten, but y'all didn't play nobody this season. No, besides Ohio State, and y'all lost to them. Indiana don't belong on here. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
This is where I stand on that. A lot of people were wondering what was going to happen. when the rankings came out, who was going to get left out, South Carolina, Miami, blah, blah, blah. Name, image, and likeness does not only dictate what the players get, in my opinion, in college. Name, image, and likeness also goes along with this. There were some names that were left off that could have been put in. There were some images as far as teams and prominent colleges that possibly could have been put on here, and the likeness of which none of us recognize is this player's college football playoff. Because I can't lie, when I look up here and I see Boise and I got Georgia somehow on the bye week across from Oregon and Arizona, this don't look like nothing I recognize. But I guess that's what it's supposed to be, with it being the inaugural 12-team playoff. I probably missed this, but Jay and I had a conversation on a previous season. And Jay, didn't you say you wanted like 16 just to kind of, you know what I'm saying? You said 16 back
they're
there?
trying to go to 14 teams now.
You know what? Just say you don't want to talk about it, man. Look, man.
I read something. They're trying to go to 14 teams.
What? They're trying to go to 14 teams.
Look, if they gonna keep it like this, they don't need to go to 14 teams. They need to fix this part first.
They need to fix this part first.
They need to fix this first.
I can agree with you. The standpoint in which the you got the major conference champions getting bye weeks, I can kind of deal with, but somewhere in there they got to figure out that win-loss column, because like you had mentioned, you know, I think it was Indiana took some tough losses in which they could have been replaced by the team. And that's just my opinion. But am I happy to see it finally be taking place? I am, man.
I am. I love that they've expanded it, but how you get in, they gotta figure that part out.
Yeah,
they have to.
It's a trial run. You know, this is you what is it? You throw the paint up against the wall and you call it a Basquiat. That's what this is right here to me. You know, simple as that. And I think, you know, in years to come, there will be further movement as far as college football playoffs go, and how they form the system. Hey Jay, matter of fact, this is a perfect time. Before we move on, word on the street, one of our favorite NFL coaches, not necessarily mine, but is going to a prominent university.
Hey, mine
in North Carolina. Jay, did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. Mr. Belichick. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, man. You know, I don't know if y'all know, ladies and gentlemen, but Bill Belichick, one of the most winningest coaches in NFL history, who will forever be tied into Tom Brady, has verbally agreed to coach the North Carolina Tar Heel football program. You might as well call it a football program. Now, it ain't even a collegiate team. It's going to be a program. As stated on Pat McAfee, Bill Belichick basically says he has the know-it-all, the coaching, the NFL connections to basically raise these young men and basically do a year or two and go straight to the league if you're worth it. Shoot. You know, Averill, you watch college football from time to time. You got you know what I'm saying, you keep your ear to the streets. If you were, or your matter of fact, if your kids, one of them was really good and they get an offer from Belichick and he comes and sits in your living room, you letting your son go play for Bill?
Yeah, hands down, yes. Absolutely would. I despise Bill Belichick. I despise the Patriots. I hate Tom Brady with a passion.
Oh wait, you gotta hit this.
But if he came and coached at a college that my kid was looking at and in a sport that my kid played and was interested in, and my kid said, "Hey, Mom, I want to play for Coach Belichick," yeah, I would do any and everything to get my kid in that program. Yes, hands down. So I saw a little bit of his interview on Pat McAfee. I didn't see the whole thing, but I heard he had like a huge binder that he came in with when he interviewed. It was like 400 pages or something like that. I don't know how much they're going to let him do, but if they let him do even a portion of what he's talking about or wants to do, oh, I love that. I love that. I can't wait to see what he's going to do on the college level, especially with NIL, and he's an old school coach and he runs a different type of program. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens and if he can make it work. And I feel like if he figures out the balance between getting good quality players and getting them to stay in the NIL, if he figures that out, Nick Saban's going to come back and do the same thing.
Wow. Oh man, Magic. You when you talk about Magic men in college, you got to bring up Nick Saban as well to see how that goes. I'm really digging it. We're probably going to have to revisit this as we get more information on the Bill Belichick situation going on in North Carolina. But you know how we do, man. We're gonna keep it rolling. So coming up next, man, this is every once in a while we got topics that we got to revisit every week, and of course this one is definitely one of them. So we brought one of our favorite correspondents. He's in the green room, so we're gonna go ahead and hit that button. We got the NFL coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, a wild week of NFL has gone by once again, and somehow, some way, we got good teams, and we got some bad teams too. But as of right now, man, I'm going to go ahead and make way for one of our favorite correspondents, your uncle and mine, straight out of Seattle. And we heard at one time he was a backup for Nirvana. We're going to give it up for my uncle, Bo Crouch, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Bo Crouch.
So that one definitely ain't true. You don't want to hear me sing, and you're welcome.
That's what's going on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, you can always catch our guy, Bo Crouch, on Football Talk with Bo. Make sure you go look for him on Instagram and Facebook. He's on there daily, and pretty much in the morning and afternoon, you can always catch up on the latest football news with Bo. So, Bo, man, we appreciate you coming back on the show. We got a couple of things we're going to run by you and get your opinion on, Big Dog.
All right. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Whoa, what's up?
What's happening?
Hey, man, just loving the bye week and appreciating, having some kind of winning team, man. Some kind of winning team.
And what's up with your Jets? What's up with your Jets?
That's a hot topic right there. That's a hot topic.
Would he sell the team? Would he sell the team, please? I don't know. Like, how do we go from winning and we're in the fourth quarter, and this is what, the fifth or sixth game that we blew the lead in going into the fourth quarter, and we lost? Like,
it's almost like you're trying to lose at this point without actually trying.
But we're still not high enough to get a good pick. So at this point, I looked at the draft rankings like a little while. We're the seventh pick. It's not like you're taking us for no reason. Like, but we have a really good team. I wish he would just stop purposely tanking the team and let us actually play, because we have a really talented team. That's what's so bad. I look at, there is no reason why we got the players that we have and we have the record that we have. Like, it doesn't make sense. The only thing I can think of is somebody else is doing something on the back end, and that's why we're not winning, because it does not make sense.
The Jets are run by the mob.
Well, it's funny that y'all say that, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button. Are you happy with your team? Obviously, we know everything.
No, I am not. No.
Is that a real question?
Oh man, dang. I didn't mean to do it so late, Jay, but she was already going.
Okay, so everybody knows that I'm a huge Penn State fan, and the majority of my family are Jets fans, but my sister married an Eagles fan, and I am dating an Eagles fan. And so at this point, they're like,
Tough sledding.
we can get you a Saquon Barkley jersey. And I'm like, well, if I had this, Saquon did play for Penn State. I mean, I could. I'll never switch, but they're making it really, really hard not to. Yeah.
It's cool. I hear there's room on the bandwagon, you know.
Yeah. There's always room on the bandwagon when it comes to Saquon and the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, one thing they don't got room for is controversy with their quarterback. But you know, we'll get into that shortly. So yeah, happy with your team. We know what's going on with the Jets. In my mind, what's going on with your team, Bo, and out there with Seattle?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a weird team. You know, we start off the year 3-0, then we go on a 1-5 stumble, and then now we've rattled off 4 in a row. So I mean, they're just kind of wildly inconsistent. But what I do like is over the last 3 weeks, the defense has really come to life, and it's something that during that slide was really worrisome. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop anything in the middle. They still struggle against the run. You know, it's not like they were playing great running teams, but at the same time, significantly better. Yeah, they are first place. Worst first place team? Probably. Actually,
Wow.
That's probably not true. That's probably not true. You're looking at what Atlanta's still tied for first, right?
I was about. Hey, Atlanta is definitely somewhere, some way, somehow, still sitting up top, right? Looking
Yeah, so
pretty.
that would be your worst first place team.
Oh, got you. Hey, Jay, man, you looking pretty good right now, right? Over there with the Commanders.
Hey, like I said, you know, happy to be in a positive bye week situation. I don't know if that makes sense to some, but you know, when you're winning and it's deep in the season, you want to, of course, you want a break. You need a break. You know, you need to get some rest. In our situation, you know, we got the Saints, and I want Marshawn Lattimore to be back. You know, but you know, they're saying he's coming along. They're checking all the boxes for him playing this week, but I don't want him to get too hyped up. You know, coming into this game. But you know, we're getting him back. Defense gonna be doing well. I still like to see what our defense looks like, and it's like I said, in its totality. I want to see, you know, how we respond offensively. You know, being the fact that I don't know what's up with Eckler right now. He's probably still gonna miss a few weeks because he got stoned pretty bad. But this running game, I want to see how Rodriguez comes along. But overall, man, I'm happy about the team. I'm happy about the situation. I'm happy about Peters. I'm hoping that we go for a kicker soon. You know, soon, very soon. Um, we're trying to mash something in that I don't like. You know, it's going to cost us some games. Hopefully, they said they're not going to move on from the kicker that we have now, Zane. So let's see how that goes. But you know, so far so good. We'll see how we look towards the rest of the season. Saints 70% chance to win the game. Let's see how that goes. That's one that we need to win. I've told everybody like, hey, I don't want us to win. I guess I don't want us to be further. I guess ahead of schedule. I don't want it. I really don't. I want us to lose. I want the draft picks that come with, you know, with the talent that we have, man.
See, and the
What?
Jets fan looks like she wants to stab you through the screen right now.
Yeah.
You know, but I just want everybody to stay healthy. We have a positive season, and then we move on. And then we go into this off season, looking good. Sorry.
Yeah,
Well, look, can I give you some draft picks and can I get some players so we can win some games? I mean, I'll trade with you. I mean,
He's trying to lose and get some. I like that though. At least he's real with it,
So I actually kind of get it in the way of we watched, the Giants do something a little too early, and then they sign a quarterback to a contract that is now a backup for the Vikings. So I get it, but at the same time, couldn't you just be a little bit ahead of schedule like the Texans and still have a good next year, not have to do a bunch of tanking or anything?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
To me, it's just I don't want to be ahead of schedule. I don't want to get us to get too far ahead of ourselves. Seriously, because you get these teams. I always compare it to there's certain teams or certain people in organizations that never were able to draft well. And the good thing about it is they won championships. So, their draft picks always suck. In basketball, you have Phil Jackson, who remembers Dickie Simpkins? No,
Wow.
come on. You know what I'm saying? So
reaching way down in the bag for that one.
Right. You try to be creative. You had Rich McKay when he was with the Patriots. They pulled some things off. We got to the Falcons. They ended up getting Julio, being creative. So yeah, I want to lose. I want to lose a little bit.
The only caution I send to you there is Quinn has a shelf life. He is he's good in a new spot for 3-4 years, and then it really trails off. So be careful with that. Don't win right away thing.
Hey, I totally agree with that one. And look, they're doing well. Jay's got the right idea. They do too good, you don't get no good draft picks. Who are you going to pair Jaden Daniels with in the draft? Wide receiver,
we have money.
stuff, right?
We have money.
Well, that's the thing.
That's
the thing is you got a lot of young talent. Like you can go pay, you can go get guys to fill holes. You don't have to draft them.
I want both.
Right. And listen, and of course, I'm very privileged to say that my team is in first, and I'm on the other side of the totem pole going. We got 2 quarterbacks. Hopefully, one will do better in a year and a half or so. We got Russ out here looking really crispy. So shout out to Russ, who not only is dating Sierra, but dancing on the sidelines now instead of moping, looking sad, and doing push-ups on the plane when they lose. So big shouts out to Coach Thomas for bringing the best out of him. Yeah, y'all heard about that? Everybody on the team was like, "Yo, why is this man doing push-ups on the back of the plane?" Like,
he was trying to do that dumb stuff with the Steelers. That's how he missed the first 3 games of the season. He was out there hitting running back sleds. Like, what are we doing?
Right. we know and the thing is, I think they let Russ be Russ, but you don't gotta overdo it. They appreciate you. We fine, and I like it.
Overdoing it's Russ being Russ.
Right. Yeah. And I like, letting Russ cook. You don't gotta let Russ cook. Just let him put it in the microwave. That's fine.
So that right there, this is why I thought him going to your team was actually good, right? Because it resembles Seattle when he got there, right? Great defense, running game, has a weapon, needs to be special 3 or 4 times a game, and that's it. None of this let Russ cook, because when he cooks, it's macaroni and hot dogs. Like, it's not awesome. Special 2-3 times a game, he's going to win you a lot of games.
True.
Hey,
that is true.
Very true. And he's got the ability to lose you games. He's got the ability to win you games at the same time. And I want to say this. Even though this team is in my division, I'm happy that the Browns got Jameis Winston. Let's put it like that. I'm happy that Jameis Winston is somebody starting quarterback. We would not be getting some of the best post and pregame speeches ever recorded in history of man had it not been for Jameis Winston starting for the Browns right now, and also throwing 2 interceptions last week. But shout out to Jameis Winston. So we're gonna move on, man.
Wait, hold on. So,
Oh.
because they're talking, he may not play for the Browns next year.
I doubt it.
If he can keep the interceptions under control, I'd like to see him in a Jet uniform.
Wow, drop a bomb for that.
I need him to fix interceptions. He got to get the interceptions under control. Like you can't bring that to New York. But everything else that he's doing, I actually love.
This
I
side
wouldn't
of the
mind
screen
seeing
does
him
not agree.
as a Jet.
If interceptions are a deal breaker, he ain't your guy.
I mean, I know that. I know. I'm just saying.
That being said, since you're a Jets fan, can we get Rex and Rodgers in the same building? Because that would be hilarious.
Please, big Rex.
Like terrible for your team, but for the rest of us, and especially for shows like this, absolute fire. Extreme fire.
We had some of the best sound bites when we had Rex the first time. I actually want Rexy back. I miss Rexy. I want Rex back. I think legitimately what he's doing, they've already said he's not going to be an ambassador again. He's going to stay stateside. So with him running the team, and he's probably not going to sell it, I want Rex. He is probably the only guy that can come in there, deal with Woody. He's going to do what he wants to do. If Woody don't like something, he goes to the press, and it's going to be a soundbite, and then Woody going to have to deal with it. That's what he did last time. I mean, I think he's the only one that can really deal with him. I don't even know who you would put as GM, honestly. They're going to have PTSD after the first season.
Let Rex tell it. He'll do it all. God dang, especially when he in that suit jacket on Monday mornings. Rex knows a little bit of everything.
Honestly, at this point, if he can be a GM, come on, let's go.
That last one, his teeth are fake, man. Those are veneers. And they are so great they could probably be the GM all on their own.
Yeah, dang, man. Look, Sexy Rexy got the teeth fixed, man. He's a whole other person. And listen.
Jay had one other thing I wanted to answer because he asked Gino or Russ. For the current Seattle team, Russ would lead the league in sacks right now if he was our guy, because he has this inability to throw the ball away right away. He still feels like he can be elusive, Russ. So weirdly, I would still have to say Gino is a better fit here in Seattle because we all through this season have had a bottom 5 offensive line and at times the worst offensive line in the league. And we've seen what Russ does with that, and it's not generally great.
And you hit the nail on the head when you're that one. If your line and your play calling don't match Russell Wilson's style of play, it's a disaster. And we saw that firsthand last season. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a good one. I like this one. The Chiefs, they play to win the division. Oh yeah, that's what. But can the Chiefs continue to do just enough to win a third Super Bowl champion? Last week they called my neighbor to play left tackle because I live in Jacksonville. Okay, and I don't know what happened, who they got out there off the couch, and somehow, some way, another miraculous football god play happens, and the Chiefs get a W. How do you see this iteration of the Chiefs roster working out going as we get closer to postseason, Bo?
Well, I mean, if they're going to get helped out with the red and white zebras, then it does get a little bit easier. But there's no way, right? The offense, although has started to play a little bit better over the last few weeks, it's not an offense we're used to seeing from KC, and there's no way they're going to get past teams like the Bills and Ravens, stuff like they're not going to get there. You just can't play that bad, even though they're winning, right? The record doesn't indicate the level of play that they have, but you're not going to be able to do that through the playoffs. They're going to have a first round bye probably, but at the end of the day, to luck by 3 games in the playoffs, really not going to happen. And even if they did get through the first two, someone on the NFC side would take them down.
Yeah, easily. It's funny to me, and probably to other people, including one of our campmates, Tanner, who is an avid Kansas City fan. I don't. It's like you can't keep him down. And the point is, it's not even this year. It's not even Travis Kelce. There have been a myriad of injuries, and somehow, some way, they still remain in the driver's seat right now. Jay, when you're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, man, what kind of magic they got sprinkled on that barbecue out there, man?
Speaking of which, I need some of that barbecue. Hey, nah, I'm not gonna bet against them. For right now, I'm gonna say that they're gonna consistently find some type of rabbit's foot under the turf, in the grass, somewhere in the woods. I don't know. They're gonna find a way to win, like consistently. I think until it actually happens. And so, I mean, that's not really the best. That's like the safest answer ever. But hey, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're not gonna meet their demise. I think they're really gonna somehow find their way into at least maybe the AFC Championship, like trip their way up into the AFC Championship and see where it goes from there. Um, I'll leave it at that. But I'm not gonna bet against them right now. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, they can do it. Why not?
Why not? And listen, and when it comes to the AFC West right now, I mean, ooh, wait, just all right, just in their division, and we'll chime and we'll have both chime back in on this one. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers.
Hmm.
De facto, is it the Chiefs? Like, without even looking at schedules with those other three teams, do we automatically just think Chargers? I mean, not Chargers. Excuse me. Do we automatically think Chiefs?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
To win their division, you mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're too far ahead to not win it anyway.
Right.
That's crazy.
I mean, they'd have to lose out. And then even still, I think they'd have the tiebreakers. I don't think they can lose the division at this point.
In terms of what you may be asking about, like, are they what the question was, like, they may not have been I guess too far tested, because when you look at the Chargers, yeah, their defense poses some threats. They have Khalil Mack, they got Bosa. You got a defensive secondary that's pretty much playing well. I always used to pretty much bet on the Chargers going into the season. I know me and Bo's had this conversation before, and they consistently year after year let me down, especially in fantasy. This year, they're doing enough, just like the Chiefs. The Chargers are kind of doing enough defensively to win games. Uh, they're not overpowering anybody. They're not having like the most. They're doing is having the best defensive scoring. I think they're number one as far as defensive scoring is concerned. So they're doing enough. But offensively, hopefully Quentin Johnston figures out that he does have to catch the ball. Like, it's not volleyball; it's actually football. And you know, but offensively, they're not ready to at least go into the playoffs and go. Like I say, pretty much say go deep into the playoffs. They can't do it, not with that offense. But they have a foundation to build on. But as far as the Chiefs go, it's not enough to consistently test them. When you talk about the Raiders, yeah, they put somewhat of what we call a game out there a couple weeks ago. But nah, the Chiefs are coming out of it hands down. It's already sold up. It's just, I think when it comes to the coaching, I really feel that they're only doing enough just to win now. And then, like, hey, somebody walking in and say, well, why we haven't ran this play yet, man? What about when we go in the playoffs? And Andy Reid is like, hold up. When we cross that bridge, we'll talk about it. And I think that's how they're approaching the whole season.
I don't see them going past. They're gonna have a bye the first round.
Mhm.
I see them going maybe one round. I don't.
That puts them in the championship game. That's kind of where I think they
Yeah,
fall.
right. But they win a division. So
Yeah.
as a division winner, they're gonna have a home game.
Yep. Well, they have the best record in the league, so everything is going to go through KC.
Right.
But the biggest thing is they're doing just enough, right? So they get that bye week, then they're going to have the divisional round is going to be their first round. I think they win that because they're probably going to play. They might even play someone from their own division, right? Broncos or Chargers might still make it in. So then you go and they'll be in the AFC Championship game. I think that's where they end up getting beat.
They're not going to the Super Bowl. I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. I don't see that. But depending on who they're matched up with before they get to the championship is going to be whether they go home that round or not. But they're not going to, I don't think they're going to get past the Steelers, and they're not going to get past Buffalo and maybe Baltimore if Baltimore acts right.
Baltimore got
They're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. I don't see them making to the Super Bowl. I see Buffalo going to the Super Bowl. I see Buffalo, and oh God, I hate to say that. I see Buffalo going.
You better play better defense, because if they play the Lions, then please don't go into overtimes, because they're gonna be scoring, and then we're gonna be watching possession after possession.
It's gonna be between Buffalo and Baltimore, but I think it's gonna be Buffalo.
Man, listen, Josh Allen, you got to do like a vampire. You got to put a wooden stake through his heart just to stop that offense. I don't know what's going on with that young man, but when he is so determined, he got 2 through the air, 2 on the ground, catch a flea flicker, kick a field goal. He'll do it all just to make sure he win. I constantly watch Buffalo Bills games on the edge of my seat, just waiting to see if somehow, some way, somebody can figure out to put Josh Allen. When I say this, I don't want him hurt, as we've seen in Trevor, with Trevor Lawrence. And I live in Jacksonville, but I'm waiting to see if somebody can figure out a way to slow Allen down. But that man is a train in motion with a football at the same time.
He has either 60 or 62 rushing touchdowns now as a quarterback.
We thought Michael Vick was doing something.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, Buffalo not gonna win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
They'll make it there. They're not gonna win.
Wow.
I mean, that's Buffalo, right?
They're not gonna win. I think they'll make it to the Super Bowl. They're not gonna win. They're not gonna win.
Before this season, I had the Ravens going. I just didn't realize that they were gonna forget that Derrick Henry's on their roster half the time. So that is the weirdest thing to me, but every one of their losses, he has 16 carries or less.
And that's why I think Buffalo is going to beat them, and Buffalo is going because,
and the thing is, man, I feel like in Buffalo, when the wind blows and the snow is going, you just hear the voice of Jim Kelly. Win the game now. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And Josh Allen just hears it in his head saying, like, you can do it. Like, he's not want any of that old school Buffalo madness happening. If he got to win it, it was I'm not that old, but I do remember those games, and I watched NFL films on numerous occasions. There were some games where it looked like Jim Kelly was thinking in his head, I could have won this myself. I feel like Josh Allen has seen those tapes, watched those Super Bowl videos, looked at it from numerous perspectives, heard about it from everybody who was on the team, and he is determined as now this could be possibly his best chance.
You know what's worrisome about that? is just like those Jim Kelly teams. Josh Allen was out there doing everything he could. He threw for 3. He ran for 3. You know what the defense didn't do was show up.
Yeah. True that. Oh, hey, you know what? This is another good one. Chargers Chiefs. Game of the week. You know, as we look forward to what's going on as the week develops. Chargers Chiefs. Excited matchup. Is that slated for the game of the week?
Nah, of course
For this
not.
week, upcoming?
No, just basically this past week was at the game of the week. I mean, it was a close game, but hands down, it was the Rams and the Bills. I mean,
Yeah.
that was an
Yeah.
awesome game.
Rams and Bills.
I think it's like what the second game in league history with at least 5 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns, and no turnovers. I think they had a total like 902 yards, 900 yards basically. Definitely the game of the week. It's
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
it for me it was the Packers Lions. But I mean, it's similar setup, right? Where it was 2 teams just swinging.
Yeah, Packers Lions is probably gonna be my pick for game of the week too. Yeah, that was a really good game.
And it was
Packers
on Thursday.
Lions.
How did we get a good Thursday night game? Like those are
Yeah.
trash, right?
Somehow, some
No.
way, we end up with like one good Thursday night game, like maybe once every blue moon. Everyone's.
I say this season, I have no complaints about the Thursday night games. Maybe earlier in the season, a complaint of, maybe a couple games I didn't want to see. But I'm really happy with the Thursday night games. Like let's come on now, let's look back. We seen some terrible Thursday night games.
The last
know,
few weeks have been solid, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
I'm pretty
loved
happy
all of
with-
our Thursday night games this season. Our Thursday night games were awesome this season.
Oh, wow.
Which exactly, because y'all were usually a part of the worst Thursday night games ever.
Oh my God.
No, we weren't. Whoa, wait, hold on, wait.
Wow.
No, whoa,
Whoa.
wait. No, we weren't.
Shots fired.
All right. Okay.
You sure know how to put on a man's parade.
Thursday
Damn,
night
been
one of
nice.
the worst of, Thursday
I've been
night.
nice. I've been nice. Just
Tough.
because you
Nah,
having
y'all.
a good season this season don't mean nothing. I've been nice.
Wow. She gonna dig in the record books on you, Jay.
Yeah, right.
It's going too far all of a sudden.
Just gonna go through the accountant. She's got all the receipts.
Yeah,
Hey,
last week Detroit and Green Bay.
was a long time ago. I have no fur coat. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, no fur coat. I know where he's going with that one. Shout out to Broadway Joe.
Awesome.
I got
Shout out
nothing.
to Broadway Joe. All right, and then of course I like this one too. I think this is really. We got some of your opinion on this one last week, Bo. Let's do this one here. Saquon for MVP. What? Who? How about this? When we start this one, right? Who would be our top 4 MVP candidates as we start right now? Of course, we're gonna put Saquon in there, so that's one. What other 3 people can we put in the MVP ballot box right now? Josh Allen.
Of course.
He's
Actually a front runner right now.
He's probably the front runner. So that's 2. We have 2 more spots. Who else? Who else could be MVP right now? Stat wise,
Lamar for sure.
Lamar all the time.
And quietly Goff.
Quietly, Jared Goff. I can dig that. I can dig that.
Like he has some chance, but he's actually going to get talked about a little bit just because of what he's doing. The guy that should be in there that isn't because his team is just hot trash is Burrow. He's having a fantastic year statistically, but his team is such garbage. He's not going to get a shot at it. The name that is irritating that's in the conversation is Mahomes, because he is not playing well, and he is sitting in 5th when it comes to odds.
And see, you hit the nail on the head right there. I was definitely going to bring up these Joe Burrow stats, which in any other situation right now, offensively, and without let's just even say without the numbers. The other night, I'm watching the game and I'm looking at him move in the pocket, scramble, make plays with his legs. Coming back from injuries, things we thought that, or a lot of times, what we often wonder if quarterbacks coming back from injuries can do. Joe Burrow looked good, man. It just can't keep the points from going up on the board from other teams right now. It's unfortunate, but yeah, like you said, with the way that these other teams are playing, you can't really even put it like he's like, what is that? Consideration possibly maybe 4th, 5th. But yeah, he's definitely out of the run due to just the factor of his team not doing so well.
I mean, they're 6th in points per game. The fact that they don't have a winning record is wild.
Yeah, this is like
all of his stats for this whole season, and they showed him and Chase's stats the other night, and I'm just looking like, that's their stat line from this game. That's his stats from this season. And y'all are losing. Like, I don't know what's going on with the NFL this year. This is weird. This is different. Like, there's no reason why some of these quarterbacks that are like really, really good are having really bad seasons. It just.
I mean, if you can't win putting up 30 points a game, I don't know how much more you can ask your offense to do.
Right.
And that's you're completely right. If you can't win with 30 points, because right now, as I see here, it looks like they're doing 27.8 points per game. You know what I'm saying? And somehow, some way, I want to attribute a lot of what they're doing to like maybe running him out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking right here. 90.3 rushing yards, like basically maybe less than the league average. Is that I'm looking at everybody else. The only other team I'm looking at might be even close to them would be Dallas and Seattle with 95.4 rushing yards. Everybody else breaks 100 somehow, some way. Is it the fact that they're just running Joe Burrow in the ground right now at this very point in time?
No, it's because they're always behind. They have to throw. Because that defense doesn't stop anything.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of defense, not stopping anything. Shout out to my guy, Alan, in the comment section, basically saying currently they are hot garbage. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Somehow, some way, Cincinnati's got to find a way to pull it together. But it's not going to be this season, though.
Before you say that, before you go on, I guess it's like, it's, huh?
Oh, no, in the comments.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you're out of here.
As far as the defense, though, will Zach Taylor make the move and fire the defensive coordinator, because that's the only move that's left to do before you lose your job. That's always a sign. It's like bro, it's me or both of us, or it's you or both of us. So the way it's looking, when you have, just like everybody had just sat here and said, as far as the season that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, you have an exciting running back who comes off the bench, who's like I said, has everybody excited, and this defense is out here just doing what they're doing. Will Zach Taylor just be like, hey, you got to go? It's either me or you, or you or us both, and move on, because he's gonna get the boot if not.
Yeah, Dad, listen, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Especially in these type of situations, coaching staffs are going to get the comb through, and more than likely, a defensive coach, man, I don't know where you're staying at in Cincinnati. I don't know where you're living at in Ohio, buddy, but I hope you're renting, because you may not be there very long past the season. And of course, we don't wish for anybody to lose their jobs. We're all adults. We We want them to prosper. But something there's got to be some type of change, especially in the way that Cincinnati has been handling themselves on the defensive end. Yeah. So like we said, Saquon maybe not MVP, more so Josh Allen statistically, and then like you said, both quietly Jared Goff. I like it.
I kind of agree for right now. I mean, he'll have to put out, as far as Saquon, he had to put out a few more like outstanding games, and I mean, like legendary games, maybe a 200-yard game in there, so somewhere, and we can talk. But until then, and as long as Josh Allen ascends and goes on the level that he's, come on, man, that was straight Madden when he did. Like you can't even. Some people don't even do that in Madden when he actually did this past week. So right now it's definitely him, Josh Allen.
Yeah, you'd need.
Okay. I think Jared Goff needs to be taken out of this conversation. I get why everybody says he should be in the conversation, but I had to go back and look. He threw 5 interceptions in a game recently when they played Houston. Sir,
And one
no,
of them-
sir. No, sir.
Yeah, they did.
There are other players that are doing way better. And I get it. I love the Lions. I think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I can't wait to see what they do in the Super Bowl. I am sure he's going to have a great game in the Super Bowl, but sir, you should not be the MVP. No, sir.
I mean,
Absolutely not.
Lamar had a 3-pick game, if I remember right.
He threw 5 picks in a game. 5.
Allen's had
Well,
4 before.
In Jared,
I didn't say
Goff's
3.
defense-
I didn't say 2. I didn't say 4. I said 5. In a
Jared
recent
Goff's
game.
defense,
He is not in the conversation. Not when Lamar is playing the way he's playing. Not when Josh Allen's playing the way he's playing. Not when Saquon Barkley is hurdling over people backwards. You are not in the MVP
Right.
conversation. No, sir. Absolutely not. Have several seats. Thank you. Mm-mm.
No, he's not going to win. He's just in that.
No.
He's just on that fringe.
He
of
don't need to be in the conversation. No, sir. Mm-mm. Your team should be in the conversation to win the Super Bowl. You should not be in the conversation to win MVP. I'm sorry.
I mean, he was never going to win anyway. He's just not the sexy
No.
pick for it because he doesn't have any of the other dynamic elements, right? When you look at Lamar and you look at Josh Allen, they have that running ability that, Goff just doesn't have. And so even if he was just off the charts, didn't throw the 5 picks, he was still never going to win.
Now
And
I'm
then-
gonna. Oh, go ahead.
I think Saquon should win, but I don't think he will win for the simple fact of Jalen keeps a lot of touchdowns that he should give to Saquon for Saquon to run in. He keeps them and runs them in himself. And I think at the end of the day, no matter how good he plays, his stats are going to hurt him because his stats aren't going to be where they should be because Jalen doesn't pass him the ball for those touchdowns as much as he should. They're winning games, but because I've seen a couple of games where Jalen should have definitely passed him the ball, and I think that's going to hurt him in the end because it's going to come down to stats. They're all too good, so it's going to come down to stats at the end of the day, and I think that's what's going to keep him out of it because of how well Lamar and Josh Allen are playing. That's going to keep him out of winning.
Now, okay,
If he breaks Dickerson's record,
okay, yeah, see there we
if
go.
he breaks Dickerson's record, he has a real shot.
This was the question, and before we try to skip her on into the sunset, right? So if I'm looking at it correctly, 1,623 yards currently, right? Are we talking another 2K status with Saquon this season with the games left? Yes or no from everybody? What you think? Yeah. Abel, you too? Thinking he's breaking 2,000?
Yeah.
Jay, 2K for Saquon?
I see 2K. I see 2K.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
Mm-hmm. The funny thing about it is how what we're talking about, maybe 11 plays where Saquon actually ended up on the one that could have been touchdowns. So the offense doesn't, I guess you say, help him much to his case, but he's still a dominant player, so he's a huge part of what they do. But yeah, that many plays that it could have been 10, 11 touchdowns. I mean, I think when it comes down to the running back winning the MVP, 2,000 yards has to kind of be a part of the equation. Has to. So
And I'm 100% with you. If you want to be the MVP, you want to play running back, you got to touch 2K, man. You got to touch 2K. CJ 2K almost LT AP. You got to have the numbers, man, because your quarterbacks got the ball in their hands every play, every snap, and they determine whether you win or lose about maybe 85% of the time. So if you want to be the MVP, I think that somehow, some way, you got to get that 2K, man. You want to be a running back, and to be honest with you, I thought it was kind of cool when they did the thing, and Derrick Henry was even closer to in the stat column to him. But hey, you know what? I think we did good, man. Uncle Bo, listen, you hanging tough, man. We appreciate you coming through like you always do for us right here at the Rec Room, man.
Yep. Always fun hanging out.
Tell the people what you got going on this week, Bo. What shows you're on? I know you drink. Do you drink coffee, Bo? You are in Seattle, and you do a numerous amount of shows. Are you a coffee consumer?
Yeah, I mean it's a requirement, right? Like it's
I would imagine so.
especially on Wednesdays. Wednesdays are my busiest day, right? I get up about 4 a.m. My first show is at 6, and then the last show I'm on ends about 9 p.m. So I mean it's like 8 different shows during the day. So I mean it's a busy day. It's a busy days on Wednesdays. So rather than going through like all the things that I do, I want to show this. And so this is an event that I'm going to be at on Friday. It's for our local arena football team. They have a donation drive. It's going to be here in the Everett area at the Buzz Inn Steakhouse. So come out. It's from 6 to 8:30, and I'll be there. And then, of course, our Washington Wolfpack arena team will be there. So come out, say hi, enjoy the festivities. That'll be this Friday. So come check it out.
Sweet, man. Look here, man. Not only is Bo Crouch an avid football watcher and great analyst as he comes onto the show, but he's also philanthropic, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him out here putting his time in for the local arena football team. Bo, we thank you so much for coming on again, spending some time with us here at the Rec Room. We appreciate you, man. So we're gonna lock you in. We're gonna see if we can get you on next week. And if you're busy, man, if you're not busy, come on back. But we appreciate you, man.
Oh, I'll come hang out.
All right, man. Thanks so much, man. Hey, we're gonna keep it moving. Peace out, Bo. Oh, man, you got a little Bo when it comes to it, man. You got a little Bo. But now, one of our favorite newest segments. I think it's time. Jay, I think he's waiting on us to hit the button. So we're gonna lock it in. Hit it right there. 10 man, what it do?
Are we back at it, baby? This is what I'm saying. Call me Juan Soto because I'm ready for that 700 mil. Hit me up, baby. Hit me up. I'm ready. Got the bat. I'm ready to go.
No Juan Soto. No Juan Soto. No.
Nah, never mind. I'll be just the Yankees buying nobodies and hurting themselves. So, anyways, guys, we're back at it here. Sports bets for the week of 12/10 as we go into the weekend here, and we got a phenomenal slate here. Let's get a quick recap here. How did we finish last week here? Well, we ended up finishing 9-10, but our NFL slate, we went 3-2-1 with a nice push there with the Dolphins. Thank you, Dolphins, for not trying to win. That's appreciative. So, but we got some futures for you today that we'll play at. We'll put you up at the end of the show here. We'll get the futures out to you here. But of course, we got a monster slate here because the guys we're debuting this weekend on the record of Lock It In here. So Alan, Scott Cobe, and myself here are throwing some bets here for you this week. And we'll definitely be back here with even more bets come Saturday morning and Sunday morning. So stay tuned here. But anyways, guys, let's get into this NFL slate here. Unlike everybody else voting for Josh Allen, with worse numbers than Patrick Mahomes, he has a better record. So let's see if we can get a better record here this week here. AP, let's start Thursday here, man. Alan Perales out here with the Rams money line against the Niners here. I love that line here. I am perfectly okay here going betting some Rams money line on Thursday, and you can get that here at plus 120 on the DK DraftKings here if you guys have that in your area. Next up, let's move here to Sunday here. Sunday big slate, of course. Myself and Scott and AP have some lovely bets here. So first off, we're gonna hit up Carolina +1 or -1 here. I love them against Dallas here. Dallas finally got put in place. About damn time. Thank you, Joe Burrow and the Bengals, for doing something right for once. So congratulations there. Next up here, we're going to hit Miami's money line going against Houston here. +125 on that one, BetMGM. I love Miami not in a cold environment here. Houston struggled all year long. Yes, sure. You can say what the record is, but that's the fakest win team I've ever seen. So give me Miami money line. Next up here, we're going to hit it up here. We're going to go down here to Detroit Buffalo, guys. Detroit Buffalo, probably the matchup of Sunday. We're going -1.5 on Detroit. Loving me Detroit here this week here. BetMGM had that yesterday, DK as well. So still sticking with Detroit here, favored. And I think they will win in the Dome here. And we're also sticking there with a Detroit Buffalo over 55. Hey, you can get it now 54.5. So we're going to go to 54.5, ladies and gentlemen, as that line just came into play. And then next up here, we're going to go Steelers +5 right now. You can get that on BetMGM as well. They're going against the where are you at? Philadelphia Eagles. The drama situation that's going on over there. And then finally here on the Monday night slate here, we got 2 Monday night football games this week, ladies and gentlemen. 2 Monday night football games. So let's hit it up first here. Chicago, Minnesota's up first here. Great matchup. We're leaning Vikings -6.5. You're telling me I can get the Vikings within the 7-point spread here? I'm loving that phenomenally here. So we're going Vikings -6.5. Finally, Atlanta and Las Vegas is the final slate of Monday night here. And we're leaning the Falcons -4.5. The Raiders stink. Adam Connell's out for the year. Gardner Minshew's out for the year. Quite frankly to me, that is – Kirk Cousins, here's your time, man. If you want a bounce back game, this is the biggest bounce back game that you're going to have all season long here. So give us Falcons -4.5. Ladies and gentlemen, you can lock it in, baby. That's what your NFL save's going to be. I'll be back here later on, guys.
Yo, man. Tan, man, that's how you set it off right there. That is how you set it off right there.
You muted with.
Oh, what?
No, you're not muted. I hear.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So Tanner, thank you. That's how you set it off with those NFL bets. We're gonna bring you back in just a second, and we're gonna get some more picks from you, my guy. All right, let's see. Oh, there we go. We got him back in. Oh man, we on the run, y'all. You know how it goes, man. It's we pretty much way past the top of the first hour, but we want you to like, share, and subscribe to the Rec Room Sports brand of podcasts, and what we got is a bunch of them now. So we got us right here for the Rec Room Sports podcast, and I don't know if you heard our guy Tanner, but they got Lock It In show for all our sports bettors going down, debuting this weekend Saturday, and we will make sure we'll clarify on that time. I believe he's going to do it. I think he said what is it, 9:30, 10:30 Central? So that's like early. So you got to get up for that one. So we're going to check up on Tanner and see what's really going on. So now, as we move forward, we got to do a little bit of that. Oh, pen. Ooh. I feel the heat from one of our correspondents right now. I really do. So once again, you know how we do, ladies and gentlemen, man, we bring in some of our favorite friends, some of our, best compadres to put their 10 cents in on these sports topics. So we got our guy, once again, you know him, I know him. Let's Talk Sports, most improved correspondent. We got Alan Perales, ladies and gentlemen. Alan, what is good with you, bro?
Okay, Tanner, first of all, we beat ourselves. Cincinnati did not beat us, so you can stop with that. Second of all, how's everybody doing tonight?
we good. Ted, you wait. Alan, oh wait, you got a haircut, bro.
Yeah, I mean, not bad for doing it myself, right?
Hey man, look here. First things first, coming from a bald man myself, if you can do it, go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
Right.
You know.
It's cheaper that way. It's cheaper that way.
It's for sure. Man, check this out. I feel it. I'm gonna even jump off the screen this way because the first topic, Jay set this up. I did not do this, but here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the sell those sweepstakes. Dang. Did the Mets
Okay,
do
hold on. Wait, I
it?
got a question first. What did your little thing mean? They got it right? Who got it right?
Oh,
because I can see that going one of two ways. So who got it right?
Oh, you know what it means.
wow.
You know what it means. I'm sorry. If one team should have got in other than SMU, it would have been South Carolina. I will say that.
Okay.
But as far as the way it was set up, I think they got it right.
I had to ask. Okay, so back to
Because quite frankly, Alabama did not deserve to even be in the conversation.
okay. I just we here.
When you lose to 2 6-loss teams, and then you say, "Oh, well, it's our non-conference schedule that's the problem." Really, you can find a team that's worse than Mercer?
Yeah. Okay. I had to make sure. Because you could have been talking about Soto. So I just want to make sure I knew.
Oh
which
no.
one you were talking
No.
about. Okay.
Mets overpaid hell of a lot for Juan Soto. I'm just saying, but man, whatever.
All right, so y'all got 5 seconds of me saying this, and I'm not gonna say this again. He plays very horrible defense, very, very horrible. How many balls did he drop on right field? I am so happy that my captain gets to go back to right field. They overpaid. If Jeter can pay for a suite and Judge can pay for a suite, if my captains can pay for a suite, you can pay for a suite. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you no free suite. They overpaid. They are going to be stuck. They're not going to win a ring. So you went for the money to end up in a dumpster? I mean, I'm just, hey.
They paid all that money to finish. They paid all that money to finish second place to the Atlanta Braves.
They're still not going to win the National League. It's going to either be the Braves or it's going to be the Dodgers. It's going to be one of those two, but it's not going to be the Mets. Like, y'all are still trash. You signed one player.
Lowell Mets is still a thing. Lowell Mets is still a thing
right now, because right now you don't have first baseman. Like, can you really afford Soto and Pete Alonso? Like, let's be real. You can't afford both of them. You have.
Oh no, there's talkings that they're trading Alonso out. So they're not even going to keep Alonso. It looks like.
My thing is, where are you getting 58 home runs that made Soto look so good? Like everybody's, I don't know who. I'm waiting for that person, somebody to just ask, like, hey, he had 58 home runs in front of, behind, like around him. Like, who's gonna hit that? And with the Mets, who's going?
There's only one, and it's Lindor. And you're only going to get about 25 from Lindor.
Right.
At this point.
He, on base percentage, okay, cool. But I'm talking about 58 home runs. That's not a murderer's row. That right now.
And you lost a lot of your pitchers already, so.
Right. So good thing for the Mets.
Heavy's gone.
And you just lost out on Max Fried. You just lost out on Nathan Eovaldi. You just lost out on a bunch of other top-tier pitchers that are going to – I mean, you lost Severino to the A's of all teams. Come on now.
So y'all think Max Fried –
I love that for Sevy, though. I love that for him.
You call Max Fried top tier?
I
Like
mean,
at 30 years old.
Hold on. Have you seen his ERA? So if you hold on.
my only concern with Fried is his
He
injury
has one of the
problems.
best ERAs in the MLB right now.
In the National League.
No, this was the MLB period. Hold on.
Yeah, but again, this is a guy who's pitching in the National League. He's at 30 years old. I give him 160. What we were gonna offer him, like 160.
I mean, Chris
168.
Sale's like 36 and just won the Cy Young in Atlanta, didn't he?
Right.
Yep.
So if anything, I think Max Fried should have I think he should have stayed put and just take that 168, because now you're going from a situation where you're probably going to be asked to be the third, fourth pitcher. Now you're going to
Nope,
be
he's
asked to
going to be second in rotation. Rodon's moving to third. So Garrett Cole's first. He would be second.
What?
Rodon's moving to third.
Okay, again, when you're coming from a situation when you're going to be asked to be the third or fourth pitcher and going to a situation where you're going to be
Not
asked
to mention
be
you
the
got Luis
second
Gil
pitcher,
too.
you definitely yeah. But in Atlanta, again, he wasn't being asked to do that. He was wasn't going to be called upon to be the second guy. It's not going to work.
Okay.
Fried,
So
we'll
hold on.
see.
So you do realize that he is a Yankees guy, right? You do know that, right? So let's remember that in the background. Andy Pettitte is one of the pitching consultants for the Yankees. I'm sorry if I'm a pitcher and I was a Yankees fan or had even dreamed of pitching for the Yankees and Andy Pettitte is a pitching consultant. I'm doing whatever I need to do to get to the Yankees. I'm sorry. He got a great deal.
You mean the
I think
Yankees
he
are
will work
finally
out.
using Pettitte properly?
That's why our pitching was so good last season. For the first time in several seasons, it wasn't our pitching. We couldn't hit.
I just remember the last time I saw Andy Pettitte, he was sitting on the bench in the 2009 ALCS losing to the Texas Rangers, but that's just me.
All right, so pitching. All right, and okay, that ball that Freddie Freeman hit, those balls that he hit are still traveling. So
Wow.
I can't. Out of your number one,
Raise your hand if
guy,
your team was in the World Series for 2024. I'll wait. No? Okay, thank you. So, like I was saying,
09, long time. Did you win though?
Did your team make it?
Win.
Did your
You didn't
team make
win.
it? Did you make it? Did you make it? Did you make it?
So okay, so you rather have an appearance this year than get one in the last 4? That's what you're telling me?
We actually made it. Oh, if
keep
I
spending that money.
recall correctly, hold on. Because if I recall correctly, like as much as I love Chris Sale and what he did for y'all, and I'm glad he won a Cy Young, didn't he give up in the playoffs and he couldn't pitch? And that was part of the reason why y'all lost, because he didn't pitch. Oh, okay.
I'm still trying to figure out what you got to do with winning the
You need
championship.
some water. Did you forget?
You got to
I'm
win.
I'm surprised the Braves made the playoffs with how many injuries they had all year.
Right.
just
We
saying.
shouldn't have made anything. Exactly. Thank you, Alan. That's another. But my thing is, my question
but when
is,
they
you
needed him to
rather
step
go-
up,
you rather
something
go.
was hurt or he couldn't pitch or something, whatever. So try it again.
The problem with the Yankees, let's just say what it is. The problem with the Yankees is Aaron Boone and what he is
It's not Boone.
it mostly in the playoffs. It was his
In the playoffs, yes, it was Boone.
it was his coaching of the bullpen. It was his decision making in that World Series that cost him that.
Why does Soto take just $5 more million to go to a team?
It wasn't just $5
That's
million.
not-
So actually look at his contract. So go and look at the contract. After year
Mhm.
5, after that first opt out or whatever, they can offer him $5 million more, which actually brings his contract to like $805 million.
That's still enough to not. Okay, you rather go to the
Well, see,
back,
the Dodgers
back
were
to
going to
this-
give him the same thing, but it was going to be
Yeah.
like kind of the same deal that Ohtani was getting, where he's only getting $1 million like the first 10 years, but instead
he wants-
Soto
yes,
wanted all
he's
that
not
money up
deferring.
front first.
Yeah, he's not
and with
deferring
all
his
this
money.
being said, y'all don't think Boone has anything to do with him not going to the Yankees?
There have been, I have seen
So-
reports that Soto did not want to go back. Aaron Boone was partially why.
That's not what I've heard. I haven't seen that. What I have seen was a couple incidents happen. One with the security with his family. That was a big part of it. And then the other big part of it was, and I think this is what killed it, they weren't including that suite. Jeter paid for a suite. Judge paid for a suite. You could pay for a suite. You're making all this money. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you a suite for free. No, absolutely not. And the Mets gave him, and from everything that I've been hearing, that was one of the biggest reasons why he signed with them, because of the security thing that happened with the Yankees with his family, and the fact that his family gets a suite for every game. That was
Damn, Slade. You sure know how to piss on a man's parade.
That's terrible.
But
I
being
mean-
honest, I don't want him in pinstripes anymore. I'm good. So when we first got him, I thought that we gave up way too much. I love Higgy. I love King. I didn't want them to leave. I'm glad he helped us get to the World Series. We didn't win. So I'm ready to see what the team does next year without him. And I'm sure we'll go back to the World Series. So
Pitching got better. I'm a little concerned. It's the same problem the Dodgers have. After 1 through 5, what is there? You have guys that can step up, but in certain clutch times, and again, this is the same problem the Dodgers have too.
Right.
You know, back half of your lineup is still an issue. That still has to be addressed at some point. Because let's face it, Giancarlo's getting old. Aaron Judge, while he's still young, he can't do everything. If he gets hurt again, the Yankees are in trouble. If Judge gets hurt again, the Yankees are in trouble.
This is what I would like to see. Being realistic, because I like to come from a realistic point of view, not some out of space. I want to see Jason Dominguez in left. I want to see Aaron in right. I want to see either Jazz in center, because remember, he's an outfielder, or have him at second. I think they're going to put him at second because we're not bringing back Torres. LeMahieu will either be at first or third. I feel like they should sign somebody and put LeMahieu at first. Keep Volpe at shortstop. Sign an outfielder and sign a third baseman. And I think Ben Rice should come up, but I don't think he should play first base. I think they should put him as catcher because he hits really well. And I want to see him play catcher, but he hits really well.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, if Judge gets hurt, then the Yankees are going to have some problems offensively. And I mean, your pitching's going to be fine. Pitching's going to be fine.
Okay, but remember what everybody's forgetting. Yes, we lost Soto. Y'all do realize that the Martian is coming up. He will have a full season. Like when we come out of spring training, he will. I'm pretty sure he's going to make the opening day roster. So, am I worried about losing hits? Yes and no. I know what's coming up.
You just gotta hope that he turns out to be what you hope him to be. That's all. Because if it's not, then you might be in trouble.
Dominguez hits better than Soto, but Soto plays better defense than Dominguez. Like, just being honest, his nickname is the Martian for a reason. He's a better hitter than Soto. He is going to give Ohtani and Judge a run for their money. Now, do I think he's going to be better than them? I don't know. It's too early to say. But he's definitely going to give them a run for their money, and he is going to end up be a better hitter than Soto.
He could be a better hitter than Soto. I that's a bit far fetched to say somebody is a better hitter than Soto, because Soto is still becoming a more dangerous hitter than he actually is right now. And then
And see, the issue with Dominguez is his defense sucks. Like he has to work on his defense. If his defense was better, we would have brought him up sooner, and he would have played probably the whole second half of the season in the starting lineup. But his defense, it just he has to work on it. But he can hit. Like, he was hitting, and that's what the issue was with bringing him up, and where all the Yankees fans were getting so mad, because he was in the minors and he was hitting so good, and we needed hitting really bad. But Verdugo was playing defense really good, but he wasn't hitting. So I hear what y'all are saying.
I mean, let's not forget, you still got to deal with Baltimore. That's a good young team too.
Okay.
Listen, guys.
I don't think the Red Sox are going to compete. I don't think the Blue Jays will be there, and I don't think the Rays will be there. Baltimore will still be there.
Hey, listen, guys.
And then the Central, you still got Kansas City, you still got Cleveland. And then, whether people like it or not, in the West, you still have the Astros. You still have Texas. It's going to be a fun American League this year. I think it's going to be a fun American League this year.
It is, depending on where everybody falls. It's too many free agents that haven't signed yet, especially with the bigger teams. Like, there's too many free agents with the Mets. There's too many free agents with the Yankees. Too many free agents with the Astros that haven't signed. So, yeah.
I do have some breaking news that I kind of want to share with you guys real quick.
Breaking news, Alan?
Nolan Arenado has just said that he would be willing to waive his no-trade clause for 6 teams. The Dodgers, the Padres, the Phillies, the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Angels. Why the Angels? I have no idea. They're one of the worst teams.
What?
They could maybe money, because there's
the Angels are worse than the A's. Come on now.
I'm starting to think the Angels have some type of like crazy spa.
I will say I love Ron Washington as their manager. That's the only thing I like about the Angels right now.
It's got to be something out there in Anaheim. Them boys like
something in Anaheim, because
it's the LA money, man. It's the LA lifestyle. It's just the Dodgers are a much better run organization than the Angels are.
Hey Jay, man, I remember we was talking about a couple things. Oh, matter of fact, you got it up here. Hall of Fame inductees. Big news, right?
Right.
What's going on with these Hall of Fame inductees, man?
I mean, it's two guys that I, of course, maybe Scott was old enough to watch Dick Allen. But Dick Allen actually passed away in 2020. But both of these guys, Dick Allen and Dave Parker, they were both 7-time All-Stars. Dave Parker, who I pretty much got to watch, basically he had a pretty good career. I want to say he retired like in the early 90s. Career-wise, I mean, again, 7-time All-Star. I think he put up 339 home runs. So, for his stature, for the way he hit, he was 3 Gold Gloves. Pretty much big guy. Moved well for his spot. Man, I think Dave Parker was probably about 6'5", 6'6". Big husky guy, but played very well in right field. I think he played all pretty much positions in the outfield. Played for the Athletics is when I actually watched him. As far as Dick Allen, he played for numerous amount of teams. Hit 351 homers. Again, like I said, 7-time All-Star. Both of those guys, man, they pretty much are well traveled. But like I said, Dick Allen pretty much played in the 60s. and then like retired sometime around in like 77. So yeah, like these are two guys who are very deserving. Like Dave Parker, like I said, more to in my era. But we had to wait a little while. Dig Allen had to wait a little while. Both African American players, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's funny, man, with these lists, man. It like what's going on? Because we really just talking about two guys. That's what that's what I'm kind of fuzzy on. Like, what's going on with the way that they're voting now? It's
I mean,
baseball.
last year there
to
was
me-
only 3 people that got inducted last year.
Yeah, but like, what's up with that? Why is baseball so different?
There you go.
Like, why is baseball so different when it comes to their prestigious? I get it as far as the writers, I get it, but why, man? Why are we sitting here only talking about 2 people, man? That's crazy. That's wild. All these people so deserving, man, and then so many people who are not able to get in. Let me not start about Pete Rose. Let me not start about Barry Bonds. And Bobby, Bobby refuses to talk baseball until they put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. So it's a crock, man. But it's good to see Dave Parker and Dick Allen get in. That's the best thing I can say.
Yeah, out of the classic baseball ballot, those 2 got in. You've got a lot of good first timers that are eligible as well. I think the 3 big names out of this year's are CC Sabathia, Ichiro, and Felix Hernandez are the 3 biggest names.
Good times,
I
right?
hope
Good times.
I'm
Hope Ichiro gets
rooting.
in.
I'm pulling for CC. I want CC to get in.
I think CC should get into. He was phenomenal. Both as a Cleveland Indian and a New York Yankee, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Definitely the hit.
Ichiro was always fun to watch.
Just imagine
He was a Seattle Mariner for the longest time, and I hated his guts, but he was always fun to watch.
Just imagine how many hits it would be if they counted his other stats.
I think combined Japan and MLB, he has way more hits than Pete Rose does.
Shout out to Pete Rose, man. Unfortunately, Pete Rose passed away earlier this year, so he'll never physically see himself inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I think what we kind of said on our baseball show was we kind of predict that Rob Manfred is going to wait till the last week of his tenure as MLB commissioner, and then he's going to be like, "Oh, by the way, on my way out, I'm reinstating Pete Rose. Here you go."
Hey, look! If you want to go out with a bang, that's how.
He's going to make it somebody else's problem instead of his.
Sounds like a way to do it. Well, hey, Alan, man, we appreciate you. Like we always do, great analysis when it comes to baseball. What shows you on this week, bro? What you got going on?
Well, I mean, we got our actual baseball show tomorrow night. We're going to be talking AL Central minus the White Sox and Twins because we refuse to talk about those 2 sorry teams. And then what we've been doing kind of like an MLB hot stove sort of sessions with every division. The last, I believe 2 weeks ago, we did the NL West, and then we did the AL West at the beginning. So yeah, we've still got like 4 divisions left to go. So it's been fun.
And of course, man, you know how it is. You got a key to the spot. You're more than welcome to come in and talk MLB bullpen with Averill, Jay, and myself, man. So, hey, make sure you're ready for next week, Al. We appreciate you, bro. All right?
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. Hold it down.
Get some sleep.
yeah. Definitely get some sleep, man. Oh, bro. Once again, man, we have reached the the halfway point of the show right about now. I want to make sure everybody knows this is the Rec Room Sports Podcast. We want to make sure you know that's Jet Girl for life. Averill Stevens in the building. We got Jada MIC. That's right. One of your favorite correspondents in the building as well. We got to get to him shortly. And you know me, man. Your boy K Wood on like we always do, man. Your mama's #1 draft pick. We can't go wrong when we're doing it this way. I promise you, man. Tuesdays are fun days because a lot of times we get to kind of reminisce on what we did this past week. And we're gonna get into that just a quick second. So hold on, let me do a little finessing. Woo-hoo. So straight up, right? Jay, I went somewhere last week, ain't it?
Yeah, I went a few places, but I started out on the right path. We went to the Carolina game. They played number 8, Duke. It was a great game. Before I knew it, they were up by 25. And Blue Moons kind of started the whole process of the
Blue
night.
Moons.
I think so. I think it was Blue Moons. I think that's where I started. Anyway, forget that. Yeah, we had fun. My phone didn't know I missed like 2 updates. So I kind of had to salvage some footage, but it was trash. But I enjoyed the game. They actually had a like a teddy bear donation. I wish I knew why they were donating for kids. I would say basically in less fortunate homes. And instead of running down to the court, I was actually trying to launch every teddy bear that I bought. Somebody went to get something to eat, and I'm trying to throw these teddy bears, and I'm hitting people, and like I'm hitting people in the back of the head, and like they're turning around, and I'm like laughing because I'm trying to hit the court. Out of 5 teddy bears, I got one to hit the court. But they did that at halftime. It was awesome. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. Somebody hit me in the back of not in the back of my head, but like my back with a nice size teddy bear. It was funny, but it wasn't funny like when I had a bunch of people turning around looking at me like it didn't look it didn't look good. It looked like I was doing it on purpose, and I didn't mean it, but it was fun. But yeah, the game was awesome. Like I said, Ava wants to add anything other than my trash phone.
Yeah. Apple sucks. Game was awesome though. The game was awesome. Oh, before I forget, shout out to Ashlyn. She just dunked the other day in a game, and she's one of very few players that has dunked in a college women's basketball game. So shout out to Ashlyn. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish she would have done when we was watching, but I mean it was a good
Right.
game. But like I said, they're
Was.
pretty dominant. I was pretty as far as Joyce Edwards, I love watching Malaysia full Wally, but as far as Joyce Edwards is concerned, it was kind of he has a very fundamentally sound game. So it was cool to like watch her come along. I think she still has a couple of notches she can take it as far as like playing in the offense and playing well, just being a great player. I think she had a double last week. So they're gonna start coming along. But she's starting to look more comfortable within the offense. Um, um, uh, uh, oh man, the backup center basically, which she's the backup. I don't know why she's the backup. She seems like she should be like coming along in the starting lineup, maybe. But I like the rotation. It's a good rotation. I think the team actually has some room to improve. So by the end of the season, I think this is gonna be a very dominant team. I think they have a lot of room for improvement. It was fun to watch though.
I mean, big shouts out to y'all, man. Real talk.
I'm as a huge Carolina fan, I'm actually glad that we lost to UCLA. I didn't want to lose that game, but I feel like it takes a lot of the pressure off, and now we can just play. Now it isn't, oh, they're undefeated. Oh, are they going to do what they did last year? Now they can just play ball, go back to the fundamentals, do what they do, and it's not all that added pressure. And I feel like we're going to repeat, hopefully, knock on wood, we're going to repeat. But I feel like all the added pressure is off, that now it's like you have to repeat. Now they can just go out there and play.
Right. Yeah.
If
No, I feel you on that one. I feel you
That's
on that
who it
one.
was. It was Fagan. Fagan, I like how she's coming along. how she's coming along from one season to the next. Like I don't think a lot of people are talking about she's kind of making leaps and bounds. Like she wasn't bad, she wasn't terrible, but she's playing more dominant. She's actually, I like her game. Like she's coming along nice, and with the height that she has, they're gonna need her to play well going deep into the season. So with her and everybody else coming along, I can't wait to kind of see what the end of the season brings for them. Like how good of a team they actually become.
Sure. That's what's up. Like, and in real life, while you guys were doing that, I was on the sidelines, trying to keep up with the stats, and I was like, yeah, my people are there. Oh, shout out to my man, my people from Colombia. Hey, buenos dias. Yeah, we keep it international here on the Rec Room. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to all of my compañeros, wherever you may be. And then for me, right? So I took a pilgrimage, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I went somewhere. I went to Jay's second home. I traveled the streets of Atlanta. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I went I pretty much did all, I did the regular tour. Then I did all the rapper streets, you know what I'm saying? I did all of that. Magic City was right there. Go a little further up. You got Onyx on this corner. You know what I mean? I ate, I enjoyed myself. And then I caught the Hawks versus Nuggets game. And man, let me tell you something. It's an experience going into the State Farm Arena. Jay has been on numerous occasions, and on several occasions, he's invited me to come and partake in some of the Atlanta culture. And when I say culture, I mean exactly that, because it is specific only to Atlanta and Atlanteans, I guess you would want to call it. And like, man, I mean, I felt at home though. The funniest part is I felt at home. Like there was almost like, it was kind of one of those things where you got to beat it, but when you see it, like it ain't nothing you can't do. There's nice people everywhere in the world. You may bump into them, you may not, but if you open your mouth, you'll figure out you got way more in common with some folks than others. And it's crazy, man. I'm in there, I'm watching the game, I'm having a good time with my wife and stuff like that, and I'm talking basketball, because you're in the seats. So I'm in good seats, so I'm in the seats. And I'm talking basketball out loud, and there are these two guys, and they seem foreign, you know what I'm saying? But they're talking to me about basketball, and I'm like, yeah, why do y'all seem like y'all, like these guys right here, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you can tell, but both of these gentlemen are crouching down to some degree. My man is like 6'7". And the other guy behind the guy directly behind me is like 6'5". The one behind him is like 6'7". He is bending down, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm talking to them all kind. They was asking me about traditional centers and who is on the bench and what happens with the draft picks and two-way. And I'm just talking, and I'm not realizing, are these guys scouts sitting up here, watching the game from Europe? We got Jorge, shout out to Jorge from Austria. And then we got I think it was Julian. He was from Belgium. And European basketball is great. And I told him, man, that the crazy part is some of the biggest stars right now that we have in sports, especially in basketball, are coming from Europe. And they're teaching them different skill sets over there, and they're bringing them here to America. And now, to answer his question, he asked me about the traditional center. Is the traditional center no more in America? And I said it's not extinct, because we in Atlanta, and Jay knows, in Atlanta we got who? Clint Capella. you got Clint Capella. Clint Capella does not bring the ball up the court. He doesn't have a 3-point shot. He has some post moves, but he doesn't do anything extra. So I told him Clint Capella is an example of a old school center, but just not as strong and powerful. But then I told him, I said, and then I looked up and I looked at Jay knows how the State Farm Arena, the scores on the stat lines in the corner. I look up and I'm like, oh man, yeah, Michael Porter Jr., 26. Russ got 7 and 11. All 11 Russ's assists to Jokic. Jokic had 48 points, easy, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. And somehow we got into a conversation about Jokic as well. Crazy, right? Yeah, there goes the Raptors. Got shout out to Mutombo up there. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to talk to another gentleman. Hold on, I'm trying to find the picture for you guys. Hold on. I think nope, that ain't it. Where is it? Oh, I'm gonna find it. But either way, no worries. The whole point is I got a chance to meet another gentleman who I thought was actually really cool. And I'm sitting there, minding my business, and out of nowhere, we got people just taking pictures behind me. And I'm like, who's this gentleman? Who's this guy right here? Right?
Legend.
Guy stood up. Yeah. And the guy stood up. He's snapping away, and I'll turn around and I go, hey man, like how much they pay you for that? And he looked me dead in my face and told me, nah, they just let me in because I'm old. And I was like, ain't no way, you know what I'm saying? But now he bent down, he had a conversation with me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than legendary photographer for the NBA and specifically for the Atlanta Hawks. That is Scott Cunningham, ladies and gentlemen. More than 48 plus years of photography is behind his lens. And he told me, man, I've been here for everything, not just for the Hawks, but for Atlanta sports, the Atlanta sports culture in general. Braves baseball, Hawks basketball, Falcons football. He said they were trying to do a Ted Turner, wanted hockey teams and all. He was rambling, but then he showed me, he let me hold the camera. He was like, look, man, this is how I do it. They got a telephoto light in the rafter. Every time you hit the button, click, click. Everything, the whole stadium, the whole roof lights up real quick. And I was amazed at just, how cool he was, how laid back he was. And it was just funny to run into somebody, in those seats, just kicking it. And he was, really interested in what I had to say. Wanted to talk some Hawks basketball with him. Told me he had heard about Jokic 5 years before they brought him to the NBA because he got the chance to travel to cover some USA basketball at that time. He said that was in Germany, and he had heard and seen Jokic, but he was like, at that time he thought he was too pudgy to play center and be successful. He was like, now look at me, don't I look stupid? So big shout out to Scott Cunningham who decided to follow us on Rec Room as well. And gave us a shout out, you know what I'm saying? Showed us a little bit of love out there on his socials and everything. So yeah, okay. The Hawks dancers out here killing it. And I'm like, man, they are synchronized in a mug. They came down the side and was dancing all by us and everything, throwing out t-shirts. It was amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I had a ball at State Farm Arena and watched Jokic put up 48 points, and in person it looks like two totally different things. We watch basketball all the time, and somehow, some way, we wonder how he does it. If you're 7 foot and you run into the basket with your hands up, you're about 7'5", 7'6". And Russ, with that dynamic passing that we got a chance to talk about on the Rec Room, just made it look too easy. So big shouts out to Jorge and Julia from Austria and Belgium, and Scott Cunningham, the photographer for the Atlanta Hawks, who I got a chance to meet, man. Awesome time, nonetheless, with everybody.
That's dope. That seemed like it was really dope.
Yeah, man. Magically, you know what I'm saying? It just so happens that I opened my mouth and met a really cool group of people, and they was, literally you in them. I almost felt like they wanted to ask me if I was going to go drink or something, because in Europe they drink beer, after everything. But I had to go, man. I had to get back on the road.
That's my problem.
Yeah, speaking of which, as we get into basketball, we got one of our favorite correspondents in the back, in the green room, and I think he's pretty warmed up, man. So I might as well go ahead and hit this button. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into it, man. It's time for that NBA talk. We got our team from In the Hoop on the show. and we're going to go ahead and bring in one of our favorite guys, man. Of course, you got a chance to meet him last week with one of those heartfelt moments from the slices of life that he brings on his own Audible podcast. One time for our guy, Bobby G, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby G, what's happening with you, big dog?
Chillin'. What's good, everybody, man? How y'all doing this evening?
Hey, Bobby, I watched the show.
Oh, I can't see your name covering it up. What it say?
Oh,
Your name covering it up. Oh. Tecmo Bo Jackson, baby. The greatest football player ever.
Go.
Wow.
Go.
Never catching that, man. On the original Tecmo Bowl. I'm telling you, you can run around with Bo Jackson all day long, literally. Man, so fellas, you know how we do when it comes to this basketball thing. We get together on Fridays and do what we do. But today's Tuesday, so we're gonna do a quick brief overview of what's going on. And it ain't nothing too special, but to be real with you, it's exciting to see that the quarterfinals of the in-season tournament are underway, and we will pretty much know who's going to Vegas by the end of the week. And as I see here, it looks like we got the Bucks going right now. And we, you know, say, hold on, wait, let me click on that so I can show it to the people. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Boop. There we go. Like ow. Okay. So it looks like, as we see here, I was before we got on the show, the Orlando Magic were trying to hold off the Milwaukee Bucks, but it looks like Damian Lillard has done it again, ladies and gentlemen, and put another young team down. The Magic went out 114-109. At this very moment, we got Thunder Magic just now reaching a final. So I know if Alan is not on the show, he would have so much to say right now, as the Thunder have moved on, or they are on their way to Vegas. I believe on tomorrow we will have the next two quarterfinals games between the Hawks and Knicks. Shout out to the Hawks once again. And then also following that will be Rockets Warriors. Now, fellas, as we see the Bucks and Thunder are on the way, let's look at the first matchup right here. We're going to go Hawks Knicks, man, 7 p.m. What we looking like? What we thinking when we think about Hawks Knicks, fellas?
Another opportunity. Excuse me. Sorry. Another day, another opportunity. Y'all seeing Trae Young, you know, pretty much like playing, like putting up, you know, and shutting up. You know what I'm saying? Like just pretty much all no talk, letting this game talk for him, man. I you know, he's cutting down the turnovers. Not playing stupid out here, and I don't mean stupid in the sense like don't get lost in it, but he used to be good for about 6 turnovers a game. You know, he cut back on that. He's distributing the ball well. Yeah, you know, I think last game he didn't play too well scoring wise, but he still had double-digit assists, meaning he was still trying to distribute the ball. So even when he had his bad games, seeing him still distribute the ball is a good sign for the Hawks in the future. But hey, man, the Hawks are dangerous, man. They're dangerous.
I like the idea of the Hawks being dangerous. Bobby, man, that first matchup, Knicks Hawks, what we looking like?
Yeah, I agree with Jay. Yeah, I mean the Hawks are a young team finding themselves. Unpopular opinion. If it was me, I would move Trae Young still.
Oh my! Hold on. What? You said you moved Trae Young? Oh, listen. When I tell you something, if every young man under the age of 25 ain't had on a Trae Young jersey, I'm tripping. But go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
No, I mean look at the team. Like it's clearly this team has improved as Jalen Johnson has improved. Jalen Johnson is the best player on the team. Imagine, I mean, the Nets got 106 draft picks for Mikal Bridges. Let's keep it a buck. What kind of haul do you think that the Hawks can get for Trae Young? Like you can get a quality starting point guard plus more assets to go with this young core, Johnson and Hunter, and you can, because this new cap situation is no joke. Let's be honest. And you got, these guys coming up for extension and all that. You're not competing for a championship this year. Again, let's be honest with yourselves. You're having a great season. You're gonna make some revenue ticket sales, but not competing for a championship. If you want to think long term, hey, look what Minnesota did. They didn't trade Karl Anthony because he wanted to be moved. They're looking at the future. They trade him because they didn't think they'd be able to get what they could get 3 years from now. Why can't the Hawks follow suit? You have a team that can compete. We got the pieces in place. Why don't you get you some more vets? Let Jalen become who he's going to become. Some of the other pieces become. I think DeAndre Hunter has another level to his game. But in speaking to this game, no, they're going to run into a Knicks team that's just wrong time. If the in-season tournament had been a month ago, they fare well. But right now, the Knicks are just coming into it. They're all finding their roles. They're all getting comfortable. Karl Anthony's playing very well. OG is finding his rhythm. Mikhail's finding his rhythm. And they are battle tested. They've been through the playoffs. They're hungry. They have a point to prove. And I think they're going to try and prove it by winning this in-season tournament. So just bad timing. Knicks should come out of here.
Got you. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to have to clip this and send this to my daddy. So, Bernie, here you go, man. So, right now.
No, but just imagine this. Look at this. Yeah, I mean, this is real. We already know that there's a disgruntled point guard in the NBA.
Uh-oh.
His name is De'Aaron Fox. You telling me you call Sacramento, I give you Trae Young, you give me De'Aaron. What's my guy name at the 3? I love Keegan Murray. Couple of draft picks. We can't make that work.
Send Herter back.
Yeah,
they love Herter.
Trae Young, Herter. Couple seconds, just float you around. Now you got De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter, Keegan Murray. That's a squad, bro.
It's a lengthy squad too.
Yeah.
You got a point.
With De'Aaron Fox, who actually affects winning. Trae Young doesn't really affect winning like that. They're winning because the rest of the talent around Trae Young got better, not because he got better.
Yeah, man. I gotta put that one. I gotta put that one in the jar right there because that makes a lot of sense, man. When I think about what I got a chance to see the other day in person, looking at and speaking with people who know basketball, it feels and looks as though just like you said, man, the future of the Atlanta Hawks is on that bench.
Yeah.
Risha Sher, the garbage time looked completely too easy for him. Like the garbage time looked so easy to him, and it really didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Brian Braun on the court, he guarded him well. Risha Sher was out there doing his thing. Someone that was around me, which I may or may not have named previously, said that in practice it looks as though the symbiosis between point guard, power forward has not necessarily taken place. That could be reduced to several things like language barriers, age barriers, who gets to be ball dominant. As Jay's black hole theory has happened, you may get someone the basketball and may never get it back, just like in a car. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the Hawks do have a good mesh, but Bobby might be right. It might be time to sell early and sell high, because when I look at a team like the New York Knicks, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to them, man. Right now, we got Jalen Brunson looking like Jalen Brunson of last year. With 7.5 assists, 25.2 points. We got OG Anunoby out here looking even more agile than he did coming from the Raptors, because I think he was still dealing with a nagging injury when they got him the first time. And I see the light in Karl Anthony Towns' eyes in New York right now. And it could be the fact that he's not in Minnesota. The weight's lifted off of his shoulders. He's not playing with Ant-Man, so he's no longer thinking about being second fiddle. He's on a team, TEAM. And if anybody will make you think about the fact that there's a team around you. I think it's Coach Thibodeau. And I think in reality, Coach Thibodeau has seen a team based around one player not work, a la Chicago back in the day with D Rose, and he's kind of going, "Hey, you guys, it's going to be everybody." But when we need a basket though, we know where to go. We know it's Brunson time. But I mean, Carl Anthony, he looks rejuvenated. He looks healthy, and with barring injury, I think without saying they can win it. I think they definitely do have a strong shot of beating Milwaukee in Vegas and making it to the championship. Now let's go to the other side of the bracket, boys. And we got already the Thunder going in, headed to Vegas. Shout out to our guy, AP Allen Parallels. You know what I'm saying? Big dog. He just not left off the show. Make sure you catch him this Saturday with the Lock It In show with Tanner. We're going to make sure we get that time correct from Tanner. But then we got Rockets Warriors, man. And Bobby pretty much told us, man, he's done with the Steph Curry rhetoric. he's finished with it. No more Steph Curry over here. But as we look at the matchup, guys, Rockets, Warriors, who do we see heading to Las Vegas out of that matchup?
Go ahead, Jake.
Honestly,
It's a tough one too. It's a tough one.
I'm gonna go with the Rockets. I'm hoping that they can play young and in charge, man, and run up and down the court and give these guys a run for their money. Are they actually gonna do it? We'll see. But some days the young guys happen to take the old guys to the woodshed and catch the old guys on a bad day. So that's what I'm hoping for. There's gonna be some type of I'm gonna keep banking on them. I'm gonna keep throwing the Rockets out there until they make me look good. So I'm going with the Rockets, man. I think with the young, basically a young nucleus, and like I said, teensy weensy bit of veteran talent, man. They can make it work, man. Udoka is just letting them guys pretty much play with their hair on fire, and they're also smashing all NBA players' girls.
Wow! Whoa! Ow!
So like these guys are dangerous. These some dangerous guys from what I hear.
You just blew the whole chat away with that, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey man, when you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
When you are right,
terrible.
When you light skin with curly hair and you're traveling all across the country, man, keep your girl away from the Houston Rockets hotel. Anyway, Bobby G, man, what you think about that matchup with Houston and of course the Warriors, bro?
I agree. If I had to pick a team to win, it's probably the Rockets. They're playing good basketball, and I think right now they have the better coach. But to me, this game is really about one player. People talk about how this in-season tournament wasn't going to do anything, didn't mean anything, they're playing for no reason. This situation is the exact situation that a guy like Jonathan Kuminga needs. Jonathan Kuminga is looking for a bag. You want the bag? Win this game. Yeah, it's not a playoff game, but it's going to be a playoff atmosphere. It is something to win. It's a trophy to be gotten. It's $500,000 to be gotten. You want a bag? Step out on the court and prove it. Show up big in this game. Go show up big against OKC. These are the moments that players who get the bag, this is what they play for. It's what they live for. So if you want to join that group, you want to get your bag, you don't want to be traded, hey, go show it. Go prove it. Not to mention, remember, he was on the G League Ignite with Jalen Green. Hey, some bragging rights. So, hey, you want that duffel, man? Hey, go get it, young man. This is your time.
Oh man, hey, look. Sometimes when the OGs is right, you right. I'm gonna say this though. I think this is an opportunity for players like a young Jabari Smith Jr., a young Jalen Green, and the low key surprise of this season. I think maybe someone that'll be up there for most improved. I don't think it's a secret, but he is a good player at his position. I'm talking about Alpha Shane Goon, man. Baby Yotes, man. I'm talking about somehow, some way, like literally let me click on it, right? And I was right. I was like, 10 rebounds is where Şengün is at right now. Jalen Green leading the way with 19.5 points. Fred VanVleet, I think Jay said it, a veteran presence. We got Fred VanVleet out there, man. He got the bag. He got a check. You know what I'm saying? On the bench, you know what I like? I like the fact that I always see a player like Jeff Green get up and go immediately to players like Jabari Smith when the timeouts happen. Jeff Green, before Jalen Green gets to the bench, he got Jalen Green under his arm, having a conversation with him. A player like a veteran presence like Jeff Green, who has been, the star, he's been the sixth man, he's been, the 10th or 11th man at one point in time. Somebody like that you need around these young cats, because I don't think they realize how good they are. And I love Jeff Green, Uncle Jeff. You know what I'm saying? I wish you would have stayed healthy enough so you could have, proceeded to be a Celtic for life. But hey, it is what it is. You still got that ring. And I like Houston too. I'm not sleeping on the Warriors, where somehow, some way, we poke the bear and we wake Steph Curry up, and he goes freaking 11 for 17 or something. You know what I'm saying? From 3-point line, and does something ignorant. I am not saying that is not possible, but I'm thinking firepower wise, body for body. If you get these young Houston Rockets on the court, one game, you know what I'm saying? Not four games, but one game with them healthy. And when you get those young boys running, this is another story. Plus, everybody knows young boys love going to Vegas. Yeah, they ready. They ready to go. They got bags packed. They got plans. You know what I'm saying? They ready to go. They ain't even. And that's young dudes. That's the plan. They talking. Look, if we smoke them, if we smoke the Warriors, we gonna ball out in Vegas. I know you want to go. They looking at Şengün like they ain't even. What's the Austrian or Ukrainian comparison to Belgium? I mean, not Belgium, but Las Vegas. What's that? What Bobby, you well trained.
Nah, you been talking about Macau.
Macau?
Yeah.
Okay.
Macau is like where is that? Asia. That's Vegas outside of the States.
Vegas outside the States. Okay, where's the place you can do all the barbiturates at for free in Germany? Where's that? What is that?
In Germany?
Wow.
Yeah, but
lots of places in Germany.
Lots of places in Germany. Okay, well, either way, I think that the point is, outside of basketball, the young men have the upper hand on this one when talking about what you can do on the court with a full head of steam, a full roster. Everybody's healthy, everybody's well rested, because their roster's so big, they rotate guys in and out. And I'm also excited to see younger Amen Thompson. This is the Thompson brother that does the defending, not the passing. So I'm interested in seeing him. So let's see if the Rockets can pull it off tomorrow against the Warriors and end up playing the OKC Thunder along with the Bucks, possibly playing the Knicks in the semifinal round of the second annual in-season tournament. And it's crazy.
Before you get out of here, I got a message for somebody though, and you
go
can
ahead.
clip this. And I thank you for reminding me about bringing him up. Fred VanVleet, he's a fucking sucker, dude. He's a sucker. Straight up, you a sucker. You had 48 minutes to put your hands on Shaden Sharp. and Anthony Simons for dragging you up and down the court all night. But you want to go and put your hands on the referee. You know that man can't do nothing to you. You just straight up sucker. Let's see if you put your hands on Draymond tomorrow night. How about that? Poke him in the face, see what happens. I'm tired of all these NBA players thinking they tough and they suckers, man. They want to put their hands on people knowing they can't do nothing. And I hope you make it because I buy it to your face. I ain't no sucker.
Damn, Bobby.
Nah, man.
Piss on the
Talk
man's
crap
parade.
all about what the referees do and how they doing that. That's one thing. Don't put your hand on. You know that man can't do nothing. That's like Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. You know that man ain't do nothing to you on national TV. They gonna walk up like you tough. You ain't, bro. Like, cut it out. That man got a job to do just like you got a job to do. Except you didn't do your job very well that night, did you? Well, you wouldn't been walking off a loser. Freaking sucker. That's why they kicked you out of Toronto, because you was a sucker. And after this season, they're probably gonna get you out of Houston because you was a sucker. Tell them I said that.
Damn. Bobby said, you know, he got something to tell you. He gonna let you know, and we gonna clip that. Looks like we got my man Tanner on the back end, ready to do his thing, because I think we got one more segment where we gotta lock it in. Tanner, what it do, boy? What's up?
What's up here? Happy what do they call this now? Not the NBA Cup. It's called what?
The end. It's still the
The
NCAA.
Emirates, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was. The E Cup, whatever they want to call it. So, but yeah, we got some bets here for sure. Here, by the way, last week for NBA we went 3-2, so we're looking to keep that winning percentage rolling here. So, I do have some non-cup games for this week here to watch out for. Obviously, we'll have more come Saturday for the cup as the games get figured out. So, but let's hop into it here. Wednesday, right? So tomorrow we have 2 games, but I'm loving me some Houston -1.5, guys. You guys just talked about this game just a little bit ago here against Golden State here. I like Houston. They've been on fire. They look good, and they're playing for something. So I think Houston is your team there. I like the spread at -1.5. It's low. I mean, literally, Houston wins. They cover the spread here. Next up Thursday here, we got a few games here. By the way, this is just weird to me that they're playing for a tournament, but yet we're still gonna have other games in play, guys. Pretty odd to me. So, but anyways, we'll take advantage of it. We'll win some bets.
There you go.
Sacramento, New Orleans, over total points on Thursday. The Pistons plus 13.5 on Thursday as well. And next up, we don't got quite all the numbers just yet here in the play, but it'll eventually develop here. No matter what, I like Cleveland's spread against Washington. I'm sure Bobby loves hearing that. And then Charlotte and Chicago over their total points, whatever that comes out to be there on Friday as well. That's what I like as well. So we'll keep an eye out. We'll monitor it here, but that is the NBA bets that I like for this week.
Hey, man.
But yeah, don't forget to we'll lock it in, baby.
There you go. 10-man. Saturday, we are premiering Lock It In on Rec Room, and you will be going in with the fellas. Tell us who you got for the show, since this is the last segment for you today. Who you got for the show Saturday, and what time should we be expecting that?
Yeah, pop in Saturday, guys. Alan, Scott, and I, we're going to be talking all sorts of sports. We got hockey bets. We got, we'll have the NFL slate. We'll have some NCAA football bets going on, too. We got some bowl games starting next Tuesday, so keep an eye there. We'll be right here on the Rec Room Sports Podcast here, and we'll be going about 9 a.m. Central, 9:30 a.m. Central, somewhere in that range here. We got to lock down the time, but we'll be there in the 9 o'clock hour. So keep an eye out there on Saturday, and then we'll be back at it probably about 10 or 10:30 as well on Central a.m. on Sunday, finishing out your week there. But we got a lot of bets to talk about, a lot of stuff to lock in. So we'll be out there. So, but that's kind of what we got going in, guys, for this upcoming weekend.
Hey, man, Tanner. I love it. Okay, the sound effect, the show. I know you'll be ready. I know Uncle Scott will be ready. I know Alan will be ready. We are excited. And look, hey, I'm gonna even introduce you to a friend of mine who said he wants to do some hockey bets. Man.
That's right, baby. Can't wait because we do got some hockey bets overall anyway. So that's something we do bet here in the Lock It In here. If you guys know what the fancy gamblers are like, this is going to be like level 2 or level 3 of that show here as we get going. So watch out.
Hey, man. Thanks again, Tanner, man. We appreciate you. Can't wait to check out Lock It In with our guy, Tanner Dawson, Saturday, about 9:10-ish Central Time. So that means 10:30-ish Eastern Time. So I'll definitely be checking that out. So, of course, you know how it goes, man. Coming up next, right? What we got? We got my guy, Bobby G. We doing a slice of life.
Yes, sir. Yeah, last year. Not last year. Last week. No, some just came up and it crossed my mind, so I had to get that out. This week, you guys brought me on here to do this, and I'm on the Audible Sports Podcast, where sports meets life and culture. On that show, we talk sports. We talk more than just stats, though. We talk how sports affects everyday life. With that comes a lot of things. And man, take me out solo, man. I like to be on the whole thing, man. I hate looking at myself. Feel like LL Cool J when I'm alone in my room. Sometimes I stare at the wall. But within that, we and it's actually glad I got the shirt on. Started by my man who I started this podcast journey with. Yeah, that's better. I like that. He fought bipolar disorder until he passed away. But when we started this podcast journey, the one thing that he definitely wanted to include was a segment in which we broached mental health, especially pertaining to men. And it's not a race thing. It's not black. Even though there's a stigma in the black community, it's really just a male thing. From birth, we come out and we're taught to be tough, be strong. Don't let anybody see you cry. Don't let anybody see you weak. Hey, wipe your face off. Suck it up. Things of this nature. We're just built and raised tough. We're not coddled. Everything about us has to be hard all the time. And as we grow, because of that, like we don't really know who we are when we get to a certain age, because an entire side of ourselves, which is self-inspection and reflection, has been stripped from us since we were kids. So our goal with the Audible in doing what we call our Fit Friday mental health check-in is just guys checking in on guys. We have conversations with each other all the time. We get together. Hey man, what's good? How you doing? But are we really looking for an answer? It's like we cross paths and it's, yeah, what's good with you, man? Oh, man, I'm chilling. And that's just accepted. We don't really go in depth and check in with each other, see how we're doing. And we lose so many good people to causes that we now know are because of mental health, because we didn't take the extra time to really see how our friend, how our brother, how our cousin was doing. And it's unfortunate, but with today's society and the more we know, the more we've been educated, we now know that, hey, it's okay. It's okay to let your emotions flow. It's okay to reach out to someone and say, I need help. It's okay to reach out to your brother and ask him if he needs help. So that's just something we do on Audible, and so that's really what Slice of Life is about. And the 3 questions that I'm going to ask all 3 of you. And I know I spent this whole time saying that it's really, it was focused on men. But Avro, you're more than welcome. You may, I don't want to offend or disrespect, may be raising or are one day going to raise a young man in this society. And I feel it's important to always include or have female perspective, because like Kanye said, man, we ain't got all the answers. Nobody has all the answers, Sway. So I will pose 3 questions to all of you. You can answer individually, and they are: how are you? How are you doing? And what do you need from me? So go ahead. Whoever wants to kick it off, kick it off.
I'll
Well,
start.
okay.
I'll say I'll go on and get mine out the way.
Go ahead.
So I am a single mom to 2 Black boys growing up in the South, and I have one son that just turned 18 and one that's 13. So especially when it comes to mental health, I am a big mental health advocate. I feel everybody should try therapy at least once in their life. It's not for everybody, and you have to be willing to do the work for therapy. But I feel like if you are in a good mind frame, even if you don't do it long term or do it as some type of like trauma therapy or something like that, just to do like check-ins, I feel therapy is beneficial for everyone at some point in your life. Now, I have a therapist. I've been seeing her for over 6 years. I will see her as long as she's in practice, and I will be in therapy for the rest of my life. So I am a firm believer in mental health and figuring it out. Don't hold it in.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I love that Black men, especially Black men, are starting to go to therapy and starting to heal. I love that. But ask me the 3 questions again. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. But the 3 questions, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say I came up with these. I'm a huge fan of the Pivot podcast. Shout out to everything those guys do. They did one episode in particular, and this caught my attention. They were talking about a friend of theirs who took his life, and they realized that they talked to him often, but they really never checked in with him. And Ryan Clark said that he believed he could have saved him if he would just ask him 3 simple things. And it was the first one: how are you? The second one is, how are you doing? And the third one is, what do you need from me? And I understand you and I have just met, so
So how am I?
Yeah.
Stressed, scared, anxious. As a Black woman in America that's raising Black sons, in 2020, I started having daily panic attacks when my kids leave the house. So with everything that just happened, especially in politics,
yeah,
not okay. I'm scared for my kids, terrified of what's going to happen. What's something that I need from you to keep getting the word out, especially with Black men? And it's not a race thing, but
right.
I have to speak up for my community.
Absolutely.
But what we need from you, please keep preaching about mental health. It's one thing to hear it from everyone else, but when a Black man tells you, hey, it's okay to go to therapy, hey, it's okay to talk to somebody, hey, it's okay to cry, it's different. Because I can say it till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
But when it comes from another man, yeah. So just
it's different.
Keep speaking up about mental health, especially in the Black community, especially Black men. It's about to get, it's just about to be different. I don't think this is going to be like last time. Whatever y'all need to do to stay safe, if Black women can help y'all, please let us know. That's what we need from y'all. Or that's what I need from you. As a Black woman in America, how can we help y'all? What do you need?
Absolutely. Appreciate you for sharing that. Jay,
Well, yeah, I'm about
how
to
are
say,
you? How are you doing? And what do you need from me, brother?
well, you know, with me, I always, I guess I'm doing well, for circumstances, and I got everybody was speaking, you know, and April as well. We both share the same thing as well. When I speak of this, I'm a parent of a special needs child and a child with autism.
Mm.
Um, I tend to want to be always be more, do more. Not saying I don't do anything, but
All right.
at the same time, I'm learning, and I've learned years ago, but I'm learning on, I guess, how two parents can drop the ball by not communicating well.
Mhm.
Um, and then pretty much back to mental health. What y'all was talking about. A lot of people speak it to sound good, and then when they get that phone call, or they make that phone call, so that I guess we gotta all both understand as we're learning. I guess a lot of people are not understanding it's a two-way street. Um, you know, People will rather call, hey, I got a problem with this, I got a problem with this, I got this problem, I've been thinking about this, hey, I gotta go.
Yep.
um that 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 is been a thing, and I guess I'm saying I noticed that a lot. But to answer your questions, I'm doing well for the circumstances. Um I'm fine, doing well. What can you do for me? I guess always ask me this question, because I will always try to bring up something that I'm actually dealing with. And like back to what I was saying, it's always a constant struggle when you're not inside of a home anymore like you used to be.
Mm.
Um, you tend to realize real quick it's cheaper to keep her. I'm joking.
Uh,
But uh but you know what I mean though, and I'm serious though at the same time. Sometimes you might end up doing what you don't want to do. Some people make decisions that they end up regretting for their children. I
mm,
once did that. So, I always said I wouldn't do that again. Sometimes I wish that I wouldn't have did that. So, you know, it is what it is, basically.
absolutely. Appreciate you sharing that, brother. Mr. Witt, how are you?
Oh man.
How are you doing? And what do you need from me? And before you get into it, I want to say the key question in the three is, what do you need from me? Because we ask each other all the time, hey, you need anything? Is there anything I can do? And most people gloss it off. By asking somebody, what do you need from me? It's direct. You can't avoid it. Man, I'm pleading, what do you need from me? So go.
Right. Yeah, man. So everybody kind of hit, several nails on the head. I am also a parent. And I'm worried about my children. But duh, everybody else worried about their kids. I worry about mine too. In multiple areas, in multiple facets. April brought up something. We're not gonna get political, but she said this time may be different. I'm thinking it may be different because of other things that we're not necessarily gonna get real deep into. But my grandmother got a chance to go to Egypt. God bless her soul. I miss her very much. When I was a little boy, my grandmother had those Egyptian drawings that you buy that are replicas of the actual drawings. And my grandmother told me something that stuck with me for a really long time. She said that these people put these pictures on a wall for a reason. They were trying to explain for generations to come that there were things that they were going through, that they were happening, and then that one day it's a possibility that we may have to repeat such said circumstances. I don't know if y'all know, but they got congressional hearings about things that we can't necessarily identify, and they've been drawing them same pictures, them same squares, them same triangles, those same lights on walls since the beginning of time. And we're not gonna get deep. But just magically, all of a sudden, we got to go. Oh yeah, they've been here all the time. Man, come on, bro. Come on, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? And my anxiety comes from, once again, my children. I have, you know what I'm saying. The question that you asked, Bobby, was, what can you do for me? I need positive thoughts and prayers right now. I got a little man going into surgery in the morning, so my game's a little thrown off as I've been dealing with my wife and my son, who's a little fussy because he knows something going on because he can't eat no more. You know, because he got to go to surgery in the morning. But you know, my game's a little off today. But as I was thinking about all this stuff going on, I'm worried about what man can do, but I'm also worried about what people who aren't man are possibly doing. But you know, once again, we ain't gonna get too deep or too political. But you know what I'm saying. But I'm fine. You know what I'm saying. A little anxious, but I'm anxious in a positive way. I think that right now I'm in a space where the collective has put me in a space where I am anxious about positive things that may take place. And before we get to the positive stuff, we got to do some work. It's going to be grimy. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck. We ain't going to like it all the time, but we got to do it. It's got to get done. And that's where I'm at right now. So what I need from you, Bobby, more positive energy. Keep bringing the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Keep asking questions. Because, you know, one day we're going to, and this goes for multiple things that I just brought up in conversation. One day we're going to get the answers to them questions. We may not like them, but we're definitely going to get closer to the answers to those questions. Man. So slice of life, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know.
No, that ain't it, man.
I don't know if you know, but that was deep.
That ain't it. With it comes, I ain't gonna get into the whole spiel. With it, you know, we do the Fit Friday challenge where me and my co-host Wildcard Mar, y'all know him. Shout out to Mar.
Shout out to Mar.
We each give people a challenge. I ain't give y'all a challenge right now, but it's just usually something to try to accomplish during the week. One thing that we do that I will share with y'all right now, I also give my mental health quote of the week. And just to close it off and get y'all started, and since it's first time bringing it to this platform, I'll give you a simple one. And the quote comes from Eric Erickson. And it is, life doesn't make any sense without interdependence. We need each other. And the sooner that we learn that, the better it is for all of us. One more time. Life doesn't make any sense without interdependence. We need each other. And the sooner that we learn that, the better it is for all of us.
I like that quote. I like that.
We rolling with it.
That quote is in a lot of different things, but we tend to ignore it.
Yeah.
We tend to ignore it. That right there could start me on a whole nother soapbox, but we tend to ignore it, and we end up with the results, and we keep ignoring basically what's out there is that we all need each other for something.
Yeah.
And you know, as far as people say, you know, like nothing comes free, but we all look at it selfishly. And I'm not, you know, I'm sorry, but I try not to, at least, should I say. But we all look at it selfishly, instead of, you know, help me help you, let me, you know how it goes. So, and it's like we miss it. We just rather let everybody just fend for themselves, no matter what it is.
Just think about how many issues you had in your lifetime that could have been solved with a conversation. Even if it wasn't with the person that you had an issue with, if you just spoke to somebody else about it, just to maybe get it out and hear yourself speak on it, or even to get some advice from a different, you know, just get a different perspective. And it's just like I said, like we just get in these modes where we zone out the world, and it doesn't work out well all the time. So yeah, we have a mouth for a reason, man. Like, just to speak. And shout out to April, and I'm sure you're doing an amazing job with your sons. They will. The only thing I would tell you is make sure you give them their space. If they're like me, they will love you forever. Not saying that I love you, but as mom, I love my mom. They will love you because you are their mom forever. That ain't gonna ever change. Just make sure they have that. If they got that tight personal relationship and they can pass knowledge, and experiences back and forth between each other. Yeah, let them live in that space. I didn't have that when I was growing up. I was the only child, so it's like I kind of bottled everything up, and ended up pouring it out into the streets, and the streets gave it back to me. So the fact that they have each other, that already is a head start from like where I started from.
Man, you poured it into the streets gave it back to him. Man, Bobby, man, stop being so deep on the end of the show, bro. God dang. Hey, man, but look, you know what I'm saying? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting close to the middle of the second hour here on Rec Room Sports Show. We got Audible Bobby G, we got Jada MIC, we got Jets Girl for Life, April Stevens, our favorite new correspondent, and myself, your mama's #1 draft pick. I believe we got something else we're going to cover too. So, Jay, what's that about, bro? Are you ready? Are we ready? Hold on, wait. I got you. Hold on, wait, Jay. Scoo-doo-doo. Yeah. So, oftentimes, our guy Jay finds something, describes it, tells us about it. So here it goes, man. Jay, you ready for the picture, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm ready for it.
All right. So,
A big
Jay.
ass Pop-Tart.
Jay, what's that
about? Basically, man, in 1981, today, December the 11th, former world heavyweight boxing champion, as you see, Muhammad Ali, fought his last fight against Trevor Berbick, excuse me, and lost by unanimous decision in 10 rounds, man. And sorry, I was just born. Matter of fact, excuse me. Yeah, I was 8 months. So I couldn't give you like fight analysis, but I would say that, my man here on the left probably wasn't doing his best. And that's how he lost. So sad to say, that was his last fight. That's the best I could come up with that happened today, December 11th, and it sucked. And I just thought to myself, damn, you lost, man? What? When did this happen?
Wow.
So yeah, 81, man, who knows how he was throwing them things at 81, man. I mean, 81, he was probably like literally throwing his arm. But nah, seriously, man, rest in power, Muhammad Ali, man, one of the greats. But I looked at this, I was like, damn, lost. And he was like, he lost. Ain't that some shit? But yeah, he lost in 10 rounds, man. The fight was in Nassau, Bahamas, man. Muhammad Ali's last fight.
Wow.
Rumble, young man, rumble.
Shout out to Trevor Berbick, who also has gone on to glory. He passed away on October 28th, 2006 at the age of 52. Right. Yeah, when I saw that picture, I knew who it was, but I couldn't like get who, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew who it was, but I couldn't get who it was. So I had to look for
61 fights, yo. 61 fights. That was his 61st and last fight. And 61. A lot.
And man, listen, and soon after, Muhammad's career as a spokesman for multiple things, including the nation, the rise to prominence or to the forefront of the African American community of the Nation of Islam also took place behind Muhammad Ali's back. Don't don't ever let nobody fool you. Yeah, they love Malcolm, but unfortunately, they scolded Malcolm so bad that they stuck a bow tie on Muhammad, and they told Muhammad, "You can't hang with Malcolm," and they used Muhammad as a vehicle too. But shout out to the man who did the work. Man, bro, I think we did pretty good, everybody. What y'all think? We did. This was a show. You know what I'm saying? A little tear jerker towards the end. Shout out to Mom Duke, raising young black men over there. We appreciate you so much, April. We appreciate you, Bobby. Jay, thanks for putting it together again. And of course, me, y'all know I'm trying to hold it together myself. And the guys, man, can't forget everybody who came through today. Big shouts out to Football Talk with Bo. Big shouts out to Alan Perez. And always shout out to our guy, one of the friends behind the scenes, always working, always putting something together. We're going to lock it in with our guy, Tanner Dawson. Tanner Dawson, man, we appreciate you, bro, man. But look, let me see what the...
I wish you had more time.
So you know what, man? It's happening right now as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, next week, Tuesday, 9:30, barring technical difficulty, we will be back right here on the Rec Room Sports Show. I'm your boy K-Wit. That's Jada MIC. That's Miss April. And that's Bobby G, man. We thank you. We appreciate you. Rec Room Sports, we back in the building next week. We out of here. I'm going to hit the button on y'all boys.